I already did. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody? Well, Eagle Lover was an overachiever. Yep, she was here early. The Rickster, good evening. Jules, good evening. Johnny, good evening. Johnny and I were talking about banks here just a little bit ago. Starla, good evening to you. Louise, good evening. Yeah, Gypsy's on an important mission, as we mentioned. Who else we got? Prep for the Eternity. Hello, good evening. Silver Lining, of course, good evening. Hey, Chris White, good evening again. So I don't miss anybody. Randy's back with us. Potpourri for Life is here. Hello. Sweet Savory Words, of course. How are you? Pack Rat, good evening. See here. Janine, good evening. Hilltop, good evening. One Step Closer. What's up, bud? The Naughty Bird Company. How's the Naughty Bird Company tonight? Let me see here. Hens, of course, Skane's Girl and Cul-de-sac Grocery Garden. Good evening. Yeah, B made it, and she made it right on time. She does this all the time. She shows up just like the minute right before. Like, I'm up here, and you guys can ask her. I'm up here 30 minutes early. Just anyway, yeah. Johnny says, freaking YouTube just now sending out notifications. Yeah, I typically get a notification on my other channels that we went live 10 minutes after we went live, which is always interesting. Hey, Indiana Mike, how are you? Tracy, how are you? Yep, Naughty Bird says it is fantastic but wet. What part of the country are you in, Naughty Bird? Yep, snowy Wisconsin from Mr. Richard Hakes. Clicked it and started. I've never been on time before, so that was cool. Yeah. Yeah. Well, goodness, there's all kinds of stuff going on, guys. Actually, some crazy stuff. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but today I was working, and so I got to put on all kinds of podcasts. And I don't know if you guys do this or if it's just me that does this. So I'll listen to something, and somebody will say something, and then I'll research that something, and then that something takes me to something else, which takes me to something else, and then pretty quick, I'm so far down the rabbit hole, I've got to go get a cup of coffee because it's really that bad.
That's how women think.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, we got to go, look at how to grow whatever. And then it's like, oh, I got to go start the whatever. And then it's
yeah, that's no. That's not what I do. What you do, no. What you do is rabbit trail. You start down a
rabbit trail.
Okay, so you start down a path and then you get on a new path. I stay down the same path the whole time. I just keep researching a point until I can find, is that true? Same point I started on was the point I ended on. So if you started on
like a to-do list.
No. If you started on a carrots list.
Carrots.
Uh-huh. You want to learn about carrots.
Yeah, and then I'm doing laundry, and then I have to find the remote.
Yeah, you're on a whole different path. I'm still on carrots.
And then don't forget to put milk on the grocery list.
AMC, good evening to you. Still Roz, good evening. The absolute greatest name on the internet. Half Bubble, Off Plum. Yeah, Porterhouse is here. How you doing, bud? Just sold our house and you're moving to Tennessee, says the Naughty Bird Company. Cool. I'm going to be in Tennessee here in 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Yep. Terminator. Let's see. Salty Link Zero. Good evening from Ohio. Songs of Joy. Good evening. The famous LJC is here tonight. Good evening.
I have their chainsaw now.
Yes.
In my possession.
Yes, it was dropped off. Hippocrates, good evening to you. And he says, howdy from the whole freesteading Zoom crew.
Yes.
Yeah, the Zoom last night was fun, guys. And for any of you guys who don't get on the Zoom, you really should. It is really fun to listen to all of these homesteads swinging, I like it. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it a lot.
I like to put
Hey, your buddy Will Be Cool's here.
Hello.
Easy, good evening. Miley Mason, good evening. And of course, Bird's Eye View. Good evening to you as well. Deborah Calvert, good evening. Miley, good evening. Goodness, we got lots of people in here. Yes. Pretty cool. Yep, Steve, good evening from Indiana. Yep, okay, so back to my trail, right?
Oh, yeah. So you listened to something.
Yeah, so, I listen to all kinds of things. But what I do is like, I'll be listening to something and somebody will say something, then I'll start researching the topic. Like the other day, for example, someone had made a mention about, Joe Rogan had made mention about how Charles Manson, the killer guy,
Yeah.
Charles Manson, his ties to the CIA. And I had never heard that.
Ties.
Yeah. So what I did is I started just reading and watching stuff about was there really a tie there. But I stayed on that topic the whole time.
So did it come out? Was he an agent?
No, he wasn't an agent. But what was interesting, Jen, good evening to you. What was interesting to me about the whole thing is that when they were doing, what was that operation called? Remember?
Oh,
the mind control one?
MK Ultra?
Yeah, MK Ultra. So when they were doing that in federal prisons. And one of the federal prisons that they were doing it at, he was a inmate at. This is prior to the killings,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they were doing experiments at that time with him, but I haven't dug into it enough to tell you. But Rouge Mountain Homestead, good evening. Nancy, good evening.
So he was unwilling. He was unwillingly working with them, unknowingly.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I wasn't there, but what I did find interesting is how has he managed to get in and out of jail, and he was released super easy all the time. And so the question is, was he then created by
MK Ultra?
MK Ultra? And so it was just interesting. I'm going to dig into it though, because I'm going to try to find the arrest records and all of that stuff and see if I can find an answer to the question.
I don't know. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Right.
Nancy's here.
Yeah. Buffalo Seed Company is here. Yep, which is super, super cool. And that whole season's getting ready to start, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I had that on my.
Yeah.
I've been working on that. I did send them an email. I sent Matthew an email today with a list of things that I was interested into looking into.
Yeah, Matthew belongs to Nancy. For anybody who don't know,
the Buffalo Seed Company.
Yes, the Buffalo Seed Company. Johnny had a comment up here. The CIA always has their fingers in things. Yeah, and this is what I do is I get spinning down a road, and then what are the ties to Charles Manson and JFK? The assassination of President Kennedy, right? Because there actually is some. There actually is some. One of the attorneys that prosecuted that was also a parole officer for Manson, which was interesting. Anyway, I don't want to go too far down that road tonight.
Sorry.
One Step Closer says, I couldn't find the Zoom link last night. I'll try again next week. Yeah, One Step Closer, it shows up just minutes before the actual meeting itself. I actually struggled getting in last night, but I eventually did. I think it was my phone, though, but hard to say. Hey, Mrs. Hacks, how are you? Yeah, we were just talking about you a little bit ago. Bee's looking for some goat's milk, and since we don't have goats, we were trying to figure out where to get some locally because she's on this kick. And of course she says, hey, honey, I want to make some soap.
Tomorrow.
I need some goat's milk.
Sunday.
Well, when do you need it? Like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like you could have given me any more time, than that.
Well, I thought about it, but.
Yeah.
Lots going on.
Miley says, take a topic and search it for the truth. Right, Tag? Yeah. You want to hear the weird one that I found today that I was digging? And I don't know how, I don't want to totally spin this conversation way out of control, but okay, so Geneva. Hey, Tambra, how are you? So Geneva, Switzerland, right? You guys all know that town. So Geneva is home of what? Well, what's in Geneva? Anybody know? Do you know? No? Okay, so that's the headquarters of the World Health Organization, right? It's also the headquarters of the World Economic Forum, right? Nikki, hello. Yeah, super glad you're here. Yep, Eagle Lover. That's right. It's Eagle Lover. You're a rock star. It's also the home of a company called CERN, which, interestingly enough, its logo is 666.
Really?
So 3 6 is all kind of turned. I wonder if. Oops, we don't want to do that one.
Did you turn it off?
No. They could see us anyway. LJC says I can try to bring some next week if you need some of the goat's milk.
Oh.
Well, you'll never say no to that, right?
Yeah, I will not say no to that.
So anyways, you got the World Health Organization, CERN, the World Economic Forum, all in Geneva, right? And CERN is an interesting company too, not just the 666. They do the particle collider, where they throw atoms at each other and try to, blow the atom. Anyway, anyway, it's a science thing. Okay, so these are all in Geneva, right? Switzerland. Okay, so this is what we need to know. What's interesting about that is if you read Revelations 2:13, okay, which you guys know that I struggle with my spirituality. We've talked about this many, many times. But anyway, if you read it, basically what it talks about is this Saint Antipas. And Saint Antipas was killed in this town called Lyon. And anyway, so God or Jesus, they're talking about in the Bible about how this is where the devil lives, is in this town called Lyon. Okay, so then I start searching, okay, what's Lyon, right? And so Lyon which is where in Revelations God says the devil resides, is in Geneva, Switzerland.
Huh.
So anyway, that was
yeah.
like, what the hell?
I can see the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So anyway, I got, spinning down that.
Was that today you were doing that?
Yeah, that was today. Yeah, that was today. So, and I urge you guys go look it up because that's what I do. Half Bubble Off Plum wants to know, does anyone do drip irrigation off rain barrels? If so, how high did you elevate your barrel rows that are 40 feet long?
Yeah, we tried to the last time, and our rain was not high enough.
You're talking about the old house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those were sitting right on the ground.
Well, they were up a little bit, but yes, basically they were sitting there.
Her tank that she has now for her greenhouse, she don't do drip irrigation, but easily could because her tank's 10 foot off the ground. She's got a 750 gallon tank, 10 foot off the ground, and it puts out plenty of power. Timothy, good evening to you. Mr. Rain, welcome. And Big Kid, welcome.
Nikki's here. Did you say Nikki?
I did. I said hello.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Everybody gets busy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Half Bubble Off Plum says, how many blocks? I'm assuming cinder blocks, as I'm assuming what Half Bubble Off Plum is talking about.
Probably. That's what comes to my head.
Yeah, the higher you get it off the ground, the more pressure you're going to have. But I would be willing to bet you that if you could get, 2 or 3 foot of, drop, that you could probably run that. But, a good person in here that could talk about that's Hippocrates, who behind the scenes could just quickly do the math and tell you. I would say 2 or 3 feet's probably fine, but he might, might say something else. Let me see. Eagle Lover says, hence all the stuff they say about CERN. Yeah, I thought that whole combination was super interesting. As I, started going down the whole road of Revelations 2:13, and I was just reading it. I'm like, okay, well, where's this place, and who's this saint, and where did this saint die? And just kind of continued, to Google and go down the road. But so it was pretty interesting. Cul-de-sac says Half Bubble Off Plum stack too high. That'd be a good way too. Coworkers talking me into getting 2 to 3 laying hens, says Jonathan, this spring. So I'm trying to brainstorm some tractor or A-frame designs for a small backyard. Yeah, well, your whole backyard's fenced, isn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, just let them run around the whole backyard.
Well,
but a garden. They'll tear his garden up. Yeah. The Rickster says that's why I never get Swiss chocolate. Salty Blank says, how we doing? I think everyone's doing good. Yeah, Heidi says Apollyon. Mr. Rain says, here we go, 0.433 psi per foot of elevation.
For the water.
Yep, for the water. Yep. And I wonder how much, does anybody know how much psi it takes a drip irrigation to work? I would not think it would be much. Jonathan says, I need a small portable and something I can build out of the scrap in my garage. Yeah, that ought to be easy, bud. You're handy enough to do all that. Who uses pond dye in your pond? Do you think it's okay and worth the money? Miley, I'm not an expert here, but I'm telling you, there is zero chance I'm putting dye in my pond.
Yeah.
You can't convince me that the stuff that they're putting in our foods is healthy. How can you convince me the agricultural dyes are healthy? Yeah, no way. So Jonathan says it's fenced, but I have garden, hawks, cats, opossums, coons to worry about. Yeah. Well, in your garden, right?
Well, he said I have a garden. Hawks, cats, opossums.
MG Cul-de-sac says to Rain Country, is there a Cliff Note version of your formula like rain drip irrigation for dummies? Yeah. All right, cool. What do you got? What's the first thing on your list to talk about?
Our rain irrigation, it didn't come out.
What do you mean?
When we had the soaker hose connected to the rain at the old house, it just didn't come out of the hose.
Yeah, but it was sitting on the ground. We didn't have enough pressure.
Yeah.
But what was funny though, a soaker hose, that was true, but your drip irrigation, it came out of fine. It would turn on the little sprinklers and all that.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't the drip irrigation, or wouldn't the soaker hose.
The soaker hose.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That was really lesson learned. So, let's see. So I have been working on, told you I sent the email to Buffalo Seed Company. I got a mouse in the greenhouse. So the microgreens and lettuce and stuff that I did plant, it's messing with. So I'm going to move some snap traps out there, see if I can deal with that.
So you say typically you put sticky traps all the way around the rim of what you're protecting.
Yeah, but I've got all of that stuff is planted now. All of those totes are planted, so I that's a lot of sticky traps. So, so okay, so Mrs. Hacks came over and helped me trim the fly wings right off of one of the roos to try to keep him contained. That didn't work. He still flew out of the coop.
Yeah.
And then they were chasing each other around the yard. So I had to go out there and they were chasing each other around the coop as I had to stand and try to, like, as soon as they come back, I try to reach down and grab it. And they'd go around another lap. I'd try to reach down and grab it. And they'd go down another lap. And
Why didn't you tell me so I could film it?
It looked ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I want to film it.
I didn't catch them until they went into the run and into the coop. And then I hurried up and went in the coop and shut the door so I could actually catch them to separate them. What else? Oh, I watched Heidi over at Rain Country had rose water. I watched her make rose water. So I made some rose water from those rose petals. And then I am trying rose oil also out of jojoba oil.
So you're not pressing your own rose oil?
No, I didn't have that many.
Okay.
I'm trying to extract them from the petals that I had from the...
She has too much time on her hands.
I just, instead of just letting them go to waste, I wanted to do something with them. So I prolonged them by making rose water, which is really good for your hair and face. And you can rinse your hair with it. And rose oil, which is really good for your skin.
Rain Country wants to know what would be the purpose of putting dye in a pond.
Yeah, just to make it look... Remember that pond that we
to make it look bluer or greener or whatever you want it to do.
It does make it look... It's like it tricks you.
Yeah, so Hippocrates gave us the same answer that we get in every permaculture question, every off-grid question, which is it depends. The pressure depends on which emitters. Some are designed for gravity systems, some for use after a pressure reducer. So the answer is it depends. Yep. Big Kid says it also that the dye also slows or stops the algae.
Oh, really?
Yep. Okay, where are we at here? Rain Country says Mr. Rain's cliff notes are after I hack 90 minutes out of his videos. Heidi, you have no idea how much I relate to you. Because I have to do that all the time. Right? Hack 90 minutes out of a video.
Yeah.
It would be what cracks me up about B is like the honey straws. She filmed the whole process 3 times. And so I had to go through and figure out, oh, man.
Yeah, well, there were better parts to other things. And you don't watch the whole thing. I wonder if Heidi does that. You don't watch the whole thing, right? You're like, you watch until you get enough.
No, I watched the whole thing.
And then you're like, done.
No, I watched the whole thing.
Throw the rest away.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Because you didn't catch in like the loofah seeds. You didn't catch me winnowing them.
Well, I must have cut that out because I didn't know it or whatever it was. But I watched the whole thing. That's how I know which videos first, second, third, fourth, fifth, because you film like a wood chipper.
Yeah, because I have to go like video 1. Cut video 2.
Nikki wants to know what's the ratio to PB to baking soda.
The peanut butter to baking soda for the mice.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it really matters. I think the more the merrier. The faster.
Yeah, Eagle Lover says that your vacation hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
She's always on
Summer's
vacation.
coming. Nice weather outside. Sweaty.
Yeah. Mr. Rain says pipe has a C factor. What that means is resistance of sorts. Okay. Yeah. Jonathan says nothing composted goes to waste. Yep. Terminator says I sprinkle cinnamon for bugs and mice. Interesting. Silver Lining says 50-50 on the peanut butter thing.
50-50.
Yep. Skanes Girl says I got my photo boxes today, organizing my seeds, searching for my labeler. Laugh out loud. Great hack I saw Michelle do at Permapastures. Do you know, Skanes Girl, if you labeled your label maker, you might not lose it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Pack Rack said aquatic dyes add blue or blue-green color to the water to reduce sunlight penetration. When used as a shade, dyes help to reduce the growth by blocking. Yeah, but it's putting dyes in it, you know. Life with Mike and Jen. Hey, how are you guys? Long time no talk. Just got back from the road. Mike is on with Phil. Thank you. Oh, of course. My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. And Jen, if there's anything I can do, you know the gig, right? And now you know how to get a hold of me, right? Let me see here. Pack Rat says photosynthesis. There are several products on the market for this purpose. Dyes are found to be most effective in controlling filamentous and blue-green algae. Mr. Rain says pipe walls has a sticky factor of sorts similar to resistance in electrical wire. The larger the wire, the more current it can carry. Rain Country says I pretty much watch the whole thing, but when I see it is the same thing again, I just cut or speed it up. Steel Roz says, what's the best type of rose able to grow well in South Central Texas to make rose water and rose oil with? Yep, another 50-50. Evie, how are you? Glenn, good evening to you. Let me see here. Rain Country says, I really cannot tell you what is going to grow best in your area, but the most medicinal is Rosa rugosa. Mr. Rain says, water and electrical currents have similar characteristics.
I'm going to write that down.
What's that? Okay. Rosa rugosa. You know what? That almost sounds like an Italian dish. All right. Where am I at here? I need a locator on my phone, the remote, and nearly everything. Yeah. Grateful Hearts Ranch. Good evening. More baking soda to peanut butter, more traumatic intestinal injury, says Johnny. Have you tried peppermint in your greenhouse? I've heard mice hate it.
No. To plant it? No.
Yeah.
No, but I can do that.
Mike, Life with Mike and Jen says, ha ha ha. Films like a wood chipper. I can relate to be. Yes. And that's exactly what it's like. And this is not bashing because I'm telling you, she produces. No, I'm not bashing. She produces great content and it gives me a lot of content. She's way more thorough than I am. I'm a one take guy. Like I don't edit my videos hardly at all. I know what I want to say going into it. I just do it. I get done with it. You take an all day process to make a 7-minute video.
You're just a natural.
And what are you?
You're lucky I'm doing
it. When you install a low head pressure system, avoid goosenecks. So, Mr. Rain, you want to tell us what goosenecks are? Rain Country. Let me see. Tambra, hello, says carp for algae and yucky stuff. Oh, wait, I lost it. And yucky stuff for the pond. Yeah, we got grass carp when we did our pond for that same thing. Timothy says, got 4 more baby chicks to add to the backyard flock. Awesome. Awesome. Why don't you talk about because you got a bunch getting ready to hatch.
Monday. I got 12 on Monday.
And then?
And then 48 on Friday.
48 on Friday. So that ought to be fun.
We'll see.
And then you load them all back up, right?
Yep. Yeah. I don't know about that. Did you? I don't know. Still weighing the whole duck thing. Or other
animals?
Other birds. Yeah.
Dennis says that I was told that the friction of one elbow is approximately the same as 20 feet length of pipe. I actually buy that. Let me see here. Friction loss is correct. Okay. Bee's honey straw video was truly impressive.
See?
I didn't say it wasn't impressive. Dork.
She didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it either.
So you just were complaining it was too long.
No, it's a lot of.
You said that 3 times.
Yeah, it was funny. I got demonetized for that video. So you guys know they took the monetization off that video because of the music that I put onto it, even though I pay for that, but whatever. Let me see here. Red Country says, cul-de-sac. I believe so. They are more of a wild rose and are very hardy because they are not hybrid and are wild. That is why they are more medicinal. Huh. Yeah, it makes sense. Hey, Mandy Garrett, good evening.
Yes.
Uncle Bodie, good evening. Be that type of chicks did you order? He's asking what type of chicks you ordered.
None.
None.
No.
Yeah, that's the answer. So we don't one step closer. We don't buy.
There are eggs.
Yeah, we take our eggs and we incubate our eggs because of everything that's going on in all the stores and that. We've just decided just to grow them for ourselves.
Well, geez, we had a buddy who ordered. How many eggs did they order? They thought it was 12. They got 12 eggs
12.
and they got one extra, and they got them in the incubator. 4 of them were not good right when they candled them, and then they got only 2 to hatch.
Yeah.
And she paid like $50 or something for those eggs.
Heidi says Rosa Rugosa in marinara sauce and tiramisu for dessert. That all sounds good.
Yeah.
Especially the tiramisu part.
Nah.
Sharon says hello from Wyoming. Hey Sharon, hello, and how are you? I miss Wyoming. I liked Wyoming.
Too cold. No.
Our first go at incubating chicks, and we have 8 so far, says Eternity. Pretty cool.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah. Goosenecks are the thingy that attaches a goose's head to the goose's body. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now we know.
Now this is making a lot more sense. Mr. Ray.
Avoid those.
Hey, Faith, good evening to you. Chicks are $3.59 each at my co-op today.
$3.59.
Cool. Let's see. Always look forward to your videos, and the wood stove shorts are fun.
I haven't done one of those in a minute.
Yeah, you need to do more of those.
I do.
Yes, because you're good at it.
I mean, I cook all the time.
Sunday's going to make.
Half the time I forget to.
What are you going to do on Sunday that you're going to film the whole time and without like a wood chipper? You're just going to film me a great video. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
Nah.
I would chip it all.
Okay, so what are you going to film?
I'm going to try to make soap.
Soap.
Not try. I mean, I'm going to make soap.
Yeah, you've made that a lot.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Mm-hmm. She has a buddy coming over. They're going to make soap on the wood stove. Or are you going to do it?
No, you don't use this. You don't cook it.
Oh, you don't?
No, you add lye and it heats itself.
Oh,
up.
Okay.
Remember that we tried to do it on that aluminum pan?
Babe, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
You don't remember the kitchen thing that going on when he came in and he was like, "What is that? Is that an aluminum pan? Oh my gosh!" We had to take the pan outside and stick it in the road.
Uh-oh.
It was all popping, and we're like, "Is that supposed to happen? Is that Don't you remember that?
No.
Poor Urine. We almost like caught her on fire.
Now, Richard says, ordered an EMP shield yesterday. I sure hope you don't need it. I hope you don't need it too. Unfortunately, we're getting to a spot, Richard, where I believe that they really don't have a lot of choice anymore. You know, they combined, and this is just my opinion, and a lot of people could, disagree with me on this, but I don't think China and Russia conventionally are a threat to us. And so I think that, you put a cat in a corner and eventually they're going to fight. So I'm fairly concerned about those kinds of things. Gooseneck, Rain says, goosenecks is a system would be up and down elevation changes with your pipe, not as much a big deal with higher water pressures. Yeah. Be these days that calculated out about right, $25 a head. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's talking about the eggs hatching.
Yeah.
Yeah. My rooster's name is Stud Muffin, says Steel Roz, and that should be self-explanatory. Yeah. Yeah, we have some Stud Muffin roosters. Let me see here.
And some cranky ones.
Yep. The Romans had an interesting system for moving uphill and long distances. You might want to research the system they used.
For the water?
Hack says she wants to come and watch soap making. Yep. Just text B. Let me see here. I didn't realize the shorts were under a different tab and discovered them last week. I binge watched all of your wood cooking videos and found myself feeding the animals saying wood cooking. LJC, that's awesome. That's awesome. I actually say it to her sometimes. I'll just get in my head and I'll,
Yeah.
where'd you come up with that, by the way? Just,
I don't know.
let me see here. Johnny says, I don't trust cats. Okay. This is any more going to elaborate any more on that, or let me see here. Okay, Starla wants to know, are you all attending the Oklahoma Homestead Expo in June? I don't know if we're going to or not. I have no idea. I don't really know any information about it, Starla. But
You're writing it down.
yeah. Oklahoma.
Isn't that the Doug and Stacy one?
No, that would be in Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be in Missouri. Yeah. Richter said, I don't trust Paula. I don't even know how to say that.
Critters?
We combine politician and critters. So Paula Critters.
Paula Critters?
No. Emailing you now. Thank you. Sam, how are you? It was good talking to you earlier today, Sam. Oh, she said Doug and Stakey will be there in Oklahoma. Okay, but I don't think it's their event, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, Nunya Business says, first of all, hello, Nunya Business, but says another example of trying to herd us into the New World Order mindset. Badlands National Park ditches cash for plastic payment. Both of South Dakota's national parks are now cashless, denying use of legal tenure. Isn't that crazy? Because they're not even supposed to be able to do that. But like they, follow any of the rules,
Mm-hmm.
Coraline, good evening to you. And to Alan as well. Johnny says, I've had bad encounters with cats in the past. Cat PTSD. Doug and Stacy's in Hannibal, Missouri, sold out. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's
Faith.
the
Yeah.
one I was thinking of.
All right. Mrs. Hack says, I just sent you info on the Okie Expo. Okay, cool. Do you think the bank failures are just MSN hype, smoke, and mirrors to distract us?
That was on my list too.
Yeah. Actually, I've been trying to read up on this today a little bit and try to listen to it a little bit today. And these are big. Specifically the Silicon Valley one. There's a lot of money under management. And, they said that they transferred the assets from that bank to another bank, a new bank that they just built. And then people will be able to start getting their money on Monday. But, I tell you guys all the time, and I really pray you listen to me, that, you should have at the minimum a month's worth of cash on hand. I would have way more than that, but at an absolute minimum. And this is coming from somebody, guys, who's lived through a bank shutdown. I had a bank. I had all my money in one bank. This was me as a younger man. And in the middle of the night, on a Friday night, the bank was seized by the federal government. And we had no access to anything until they, I begged enough and they allowed us. And then I could go get my money. So I would really, really encourage you guys, don't leave all your money in the bank. So I do not think it's smoke and mirrors. I think it's an absolute sign of the economy. What happened with the rise of the housing prices and the land prices and all of this is that, there's a lot of these people now that are so buried in these properties and the banks are so over leveraged that I think you're going to see more and more of this. Let me see. I'm good. Likewise, just received more trees and plants. Cool. It's called the Okie Homesteader Expo. Okay. Sharon says, Doug and Stacy are sold out already. Yeah. If you want to see the future, see what government facilities are implementing. Yeah, that's actually a really, really, really good thing right there, Mr. Rain. I mean, I think that's absolutely right on. Nunya's comments censored in chat.
Oh.
Someone's censored?
Nunya's comment. Nunya Business up there?
Mm-hmm. Going back.
Right there. Another example of trying to.
Weird. All right. Domino banks, bank dominoes, watch them fall. Yeah, I think you're going to see some more of these because there's a bunch of the big banks that are super leveraged like that. And I don't know if you guys watch the markets or not, but the banks took a beating, just an absolute beating. Let me see here. Faith says under 250K can get money at the new bank next week. Over will have to file with the FDIC for any settlement money. Oh my goodness. And can you imagine how long that would take? I mean, think about these poor people who that was their only choice. And now they have to buy groceries and that. And they didn't put any money aside. They didn't take any cash home. Yeah. Richard says any place that doesn't take cash doesn't deserve to be patronized. Now, this is some smart stuff.
Right. Vote
Richard.
with your dollar.
Well, it's vote with your dollar. It's civil disobedience, right? It's starving the beast, and it's saying, "Hey, I'm not doing business with you."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm behind. What did Heidi say? Okay, another way is to pay ahead on any bills, electric, water, phone, internet, etc., by several months. Yeah, you can absolutely do that too. The only problem with that is then they change the rates. They say, hey, your payment went up, now you back owe us or whatever it is. And then also your money's in their bank earning interest instead of, using your money to make yourself money. But
and then
good
too,
point,
like
though.
what happens if, I don't know. I don't want them to have any more than what they need at that minute.
Cletus says a comment about the banks and maybe the World Economic Forum didn't show up in the chat. Really? Yeah, interesting. I see Arms Family Farms and Keeping It Dutch run Homestead Expo in Oklahoma. Okay, cool.
Keeping It Dutch.
Yep. Good evening, but MJ in Wisconsin, good evening. Sorry, guys. What I do is I read them, and if they're not a question or a comment, they're just saying hi or whatever. I'm just trying to get through them. Tag some of the comments you're reading in chat. I'm not seeing it all. Weird. Yeah, and you know what's crazy is I just kind of read them down. Like Nunya's business, I'll scroll back up there. See, Nunya says what? They're in the, let me see here. I'm behind the problem. But you go up there. I read it perfectly fine. Rickster says he burned his credit card 3 years ago. Yeah, that's smart. Telling the truth. Nunya business, I couldn't agree more. FDIC has up to 99 years to pay. Oh, my goodness. Talk about transference of wealth, right? Oh, yeah. Eagle Lovers, that's good. Evie, check to see that if you're on live chat, not top chat. Yeah. You'll see if I come up here, babe, and hit top chat, you'll only get some of them.
Oh.
Right? Okay, where am I at here? Johnny says, sorry. Yep. Is that where I'm at? Yeah, yep, right there. Okay. Got to tap on all the message to see everyone's comments. Yep. Okay, one step closer. There are a lot of over-leveraged companies out there who are having real troubles paying their debts since interest rates went up. There will be some interesting times ahead. Yeah, this is a really, really great point. And as interest rates continue to climb and they continue to raise the interest rate, then the borrowing costs from all of these companies go up.
Yes.
Then the companies who are already leveraged because they were counting on the near zero interest rates for the next 10 or 20 years, right? Because we come out of 10 years of it and now they're in big, big trouble. I am hoping the church I pastor comes out from under the tax exemption status if the government has been in the church's business too long. Yeah, eternity. I think this is a great topic, and I'd love to, have a deep conversation with somebody on this because I think the churches are more, I want to say more, but certainly equally infiltrated as business is, as our school system is, as our political system is, and as equally as corrupt as any of them. And I give examples of it, but Heidi says bank interest is a joke these days. Long gone are the days of earning 5%. Yeah, it's a joke. I would much rather buy assets. You're going to earn way more on it on that equation than you're going to, get in a bank. Starlight, I just seen the email. Thank you. And can you trust that? Let me see. Yeah, I don't.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And can you trust that? That should be a shirt right there.
Yeah.
And can you trust that?
That actually should be a shirt.
Because with that, everything that they say.
Yeah, you guys familiar with the what was it called? The Smith-Mundt Act.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so the Smith-Mundt Act was an act that said that this was a while ago. That basically what it said is that we could create propaganda for our enemies and for overseas, but that it could not be used against American citizens. That was the original Mundt Act, and then in 2013, the Smith-Mundt Revitalization Act, which was signed by President Obama, right, came in and made it legal for the federal government to use propaganda on the American people. And it's funny that they chose to use the Smith-Mundt Act, which was clearly outlawing the use of propaganda against the American people, and then use the same name, kind of in newspeak to create this, which I find fascinating. But it is legal for the federal government to use propaganda against us. Yeah. Silver Lining says she's missing some of the comments too. All right, Chris T, I'm going to try this one. Assalamualaikum. Yeah, Nanya's showing up now. I hope I did that right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I just went right by a bunch, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get it. You know, the banks have to borrow money every night to stay open the next day. Yeah, and this is crazy. Drummondson Live, a lot of people don't understand that just because you have, you know, $200,000 in the bank, that money probably don't exist. Right? They've got to keep the money flowing. And you go in. How many times you guys gone in and tried to take $5,000 out of the bank and they give you the 20 question right? You know, it's crazy. Let me see here. Censorship just means we are over the target. Amen. None of your business. Yeah, I love this.
They're starting to get them. They switched to the live chats.
I like this. That's a good t-shirt too.
You're writing that down.
Yeah, that's a great t-shirt. Censorship just means you're over the target. I write down so many t-shirts and don't do anything with it, but
you just never know.
Over the target. Yeah, but for those of you guys who have not ever researched the Smith-Mundt Act, I would really, 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 really encourage you to research the Smith-Mundt Act because it's crazy. A 501c3 means that those churches are literally a creature of the state. I could not agree more. And I think more and more of them need to just step out from it and say, hey, you know, but here's the thing. You got to be willing as a church member then to support the church. Yeah. Right?
Right.
I think you are the one that introduced me to the super old CERN opening ceremonies, heavy with symbolism and have not explained away. Yeah, there's a lot of this kind of stuff that goes on, guys. I mean, you know, I would go so far as to argue, and maybe I'll do a video about this. If you guys are interested, I will, how the CNN, the news station CNN, right, is actually created by the CIA. And there's a whole bunch of evidence to support this. What's the Anderson Cooper, for example? I don't know if you guys know this, but, you know, Anderson Cooper didn't have a background in journalism. And in fact, he was worked as an intern at the CIA for 2 years before taking a job working for CNN, which I find super fascinating. Anyway, Faith says, people are setting up businesses at public ministry associations. My husband is a pastor. And people doing that totally screws us in the end because everything is looked too closely. Yeah. I don't know how mine got switched to Top Chat. I never clicked on that. Yeah, they don't want you to see them all. Hippocrates Garden says, okay, on the front of the shirt, can you trust that? And on the back of the shirt, it depends.
It depends.
Oh, that'd be great. Joseph G, hello. As I blew right by that one too, huh? Did I?
I don't know. No, because
I don't know.
Well, now you did. Because Hippocrates is just up there, right there.
Okay, right there. That's good. I was about ready to just go on.
Yes.
Starla wants to know if you started any seeds yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got in the ground?
I don't have anything in the ground. They're all in the greenhouse.
Well, in the dirt. What do you got in the dirt?
I got microgreens. I got lettuce. I've got carrots, beets. What else? I started some huckleberry, onion. I don't know. Quite a bit.
Yeah, Hippocrates says, so debt is like energy. It never disappears. It just gets converted. Yeah, from one person to the other. I'm not playing those games no more. They don't need it to be legal. They've done it way long than before that. Yeah, but I just find it interesting that why would they, if that was 100% true, Jonathan, then why would they need the bill, right? Why would they need the law that states it? You know, Rick says, the grumpy farmer says, are you getting it yet? Yeah. Let me see. It's all about the dollar bill. Yeah, everything's about money. 100%.
That's a song.
Yep. 2020 should have made it clear what happens when a church puts the state before God and their 501c3 status. Yeah.
Is 501c3, is that schools too? Or is that just churches? 501c3.
No, I think that's, I don't know. That's a good question.
I got arugula planted too.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Lettuce, arugula, spinach, beets.
Let me see what a 501.
Silver beets. Chestnut trees, stevia, poppy, tansy. I got the tansy planted. Somebody gave me tansy. Silver Lining gave me tansy. I planted it.
Okay.
And I got the witch hazel planted, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think a 501. Which groups qualify? So general public, charitable, education, literary, religious, and scientific organizations.
Mm-hmm. So general public.
Mm-hmm. Where are we at here? Oh my goodness.
Sorry, sidetrack.
That's okay. Life goes on. Yeah, Rain Country says, Evie, the scam is that churches were already tax exempt. They did not need to sell out to the state. Yep. Well, and the thing is the church wouldn't make much money anyway. You're not really saving anything. If a church is really doing what a church does, all it has is costs. It's not a for-profit, right? I don't think you need the tax exempt. There are churches that chose not to be 501(c)(3)s for good reason. Amen. Let's see here. Let me see. 501(c)(3)s is for nonprofit tax exempt. Yeah. Putting in some sweet potato slips over the weekend. We can't do that for a while. It'll be
not
July,
in the
right?
Ground, but
yeah.
We could probably start the slips.
Mm-hmm. One more rock says, in Brazil, parade them next day. I must have missed something. Massive flood mocking God. You see, putting some. I must have missed it. That's pretty easy for me to do. They just kind of blow by. Attorney Homestead says, of course, many of my fellow preachers still proclaim the old tithe system, which is biblical, but under the law. Yeah, but again, I don't think if a church ran correctly, right, wouldn't make any money. All of its money would be costs. Right? Let's say it turned a profit, it would buy a bus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, it would all be costs.
Grows.
Yeah.
New pews, new books.
Pockery says 501(c)(3)s are basically federal nonprofit, can be educational, etc. States also have nonprofits that are different. I registered getting 501 for a community bagpipe band. Gave feds a toehold. Nope. Yeah. Rickster says the Church of Freesteading. Yeah, I love that we have in Freesteading, we have the church. Skainsgirl says the Brazil parade was insane.
Did you see any of that?
I don't think so. But then again, I watch a lot of stuff. But apologies, I have been absent, says Juby Joe. But much respect to you both. Getting ready to bathe my dog out. Yeah. Well, work continues.
Yes.
It absolutely continues. Have any of you thought about not getting farm tax exempt status and giving any info to stores where you buy feed, etc., to stay off the list of who produces goods? Yeah, this is interesting, big kid. I think this should be done at every opportunity. But I can also tell you there are stores out there, like, for example, Tractor Supply, even though I try not to do business there. But when you fill out their form, there's no verification needed. I mean, so you can say, I can walk in there and say, hey, I'm a farm. I'm, the farm of Freeman. And, they don't ask me for my EIN numbers or anything like that. And then you just get a report to your email every year. So
I thought we had to give them
I can give them anything.
Okay.
We don't, do business there anymore, but we didn't get a tax exempt for our farm, pay cash for all our feed and such. Yeah. And I've said this many times for you guys who've been around me. Mr. and Mrs. Hacks are some of the freest people I know. They really do it well. What happened at the Carnival Parade? I don't watch much TV, says Cul-de-sac.
I didn't see it.
Tag, does that mean they couldn't have a savings?
As far as the church?
Yeah, as far as the church, yeah. I don't know, Miley. That's an interesting question. I mean, maybe you could get away with something, but I think the savings is the community, right? I think if it's ran correctly, what the church should do is be able to take that money and invest it into something else. We need new lights. We need a new door. We need whatever profits made turns into an expense, right? And I don't know what I've never run a church, so I'm talking a little bit out my butt here, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, when we were going to church, my dad would go and he would, do some of the maintenance at the church, and we would do the cleaning of the church. The church was not making money. I mean, it was, the money went to pay the bills, the taxes on the building and the lights and grape juice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you make enough money, you buy a bus, right? And you add on to your church.
Right. And
you
if
put
you
in a
have that
Sunday
kind
school.
of people, right. I was going
Right.
to say, then you
Yeah.
bring in, you know, other classes and you bring in
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody there got paid. So I don't.
Yeah. Skatensville says it was basically a parade glorifying Satan.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Richard, sorry, I missed one here. Richard says, Tag, I will send you an email on the church and the 501c3 from the IRS. They did a bait and switch in 1974 that most churches don't even know about. That might be a good video, huh? Let me see here. I saw bits of the parade on YouTube, says Heidi, though the Christian Man I watch now and then it was very satanic. I'm going to have to look that up. Hey, Zeus, how are you? Says 501c3 allows donors to deduct their donations from taxes. It is an incentive for people and especially companies to donate to that group experience from an animal rescue. Yeah, so it allows the people to donate to be tax, to write off that donation, which then becomes tax deductible. But I mean, I don't know how much money people are donating to the church. Is it really that big a deal? I don't know. I'm pretty much just in a place where I prefer everything to be separated from the government. I don't, like my solar system, I could have gotten some stuff. My pond, they would have built my pond for free.
Yeah.
Had I agreed to their terms.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm just not doing it. I'll just eat it. And I bought it myself, because I don't want all that stuff. Let me see here. I was thinking today, says cul-de-sac. Oops, sorry, right by me. I was thinking today about how the modern Christian church celebrates pagan holidays, but not the biblical feasts. Right. Great point. Big Kid says, yeah, I stopped giving any info and using a card many years ago to stop being tracked. And I can tell by the junk mail alone it works.
Mm.
Yep, I heard that we were having a Sunday 8:30 meetup at SRF. Yeah. So what I was told is that they're going to do a church service there, and I was invited to it. I don't know. Will be cool. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, although I'm game. I'll be there. Brazil was like CERN opening games, but on steroids and in a parade form, very demonic, mocking God. Next day, massive floods. Yeah. I think the big selling point of a 501c3 for a church is that people who donate to it can deduct their donations for taxes.
Their dues or their tithes.
Yeah. Yes, you can have savings on a 501c3, but see, I think you just stay away from the 501c3 and then you can do whatever you want. Right?
I don't know.
Depends on the way the bylaws of the church are set up. Ours has building funds, cemetery funds, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing is, people will donate $10,000 to the cemetery while the building needs a roof. Yeah. Hey, Mary Michelle, how are you? Yeah, bait and switch exactly, says Rain Country. One of the pastors I listened to said he actually took time to read the paperwork for the 501c3, and he said no. It puts the state before God. Mm. Yeah, that's dangerous, isn't it? Keep your donations secret. Yeah, and anonymous, right? Amen, Tag. Pay as you go, the way I do everything. Yeah, I love that. Sam says exactly that's why I stopped going to traditional church. Yeah, I actually have more of a problem with organized religion than I do with Christianity, right? Because it's just all of the games that get played,
Yeah.
We will likely do it all ourselves rather than deal with the interference, laugh out loud, but it did open doors for the rescue. Yeah. I'm already there by Friday. I will be doing Sabbat because that is just what I do. Anyone would like to join me is welcome. 1%. Mr. Rain, is 1% worth your anonymity? Church does not need a 50c3 for tithe payers to deduct their offerings as long as they keep their own record of it. Oh, great point. Great point. Meant to say that at SRF, I will do that. Okay. Yeah, cool. All right, what else you got? I'm pretty cut up.
Were you going to talk something about the banks, or have you?
Yeah, we kind of talked about that. And I will stress again to everybody out there. Yeah, I will stress to everybody out there. Do not leave all your money in the bank. At least take a month's worth of cash out. I don't care what you do with it. Don't tell anybody what to do with it. But I would actually encourage you to have 6 months. And but at least a month. Get some money out of the bank, because if they shut down, you think that the creditors are going to just put it on hold because you can't get to your money?
And if you have a brick that is loose in your fireplace and you stash your funds behind it, tell somebody.
Well, go finish.
Tell somebody that
Tell them why you're saying this.
that it's there, that you trust. What are you talking about?
You're talking about your dad having stuff stashed everywhere, and then
Yeah.
he died and nobody knew where anything was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of his buddies came and said, "Hey, did you know about this stash underneath the stairs?" And we're like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, if you tell somebody where it's at, then you don't sell the house, and
No.
then somebody else gets it.
Yeah. I think One Step Closer had a cool point here that said, give for the right reasons. Yeah. And if you're giving for a tax deduction, is that the right reasons? Right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's allowed.
There's always an email, huh? Bouncing in.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, according to a poll by YouGov, 59% of Americans want to see daylight savings time permanent?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that they're going to they're going to do away with it. Just keep the time. I'm from Phoenix. We didn't do daylight savings time until we moved to Nebraska, and then it was kind of weird that people changed their times.
Yeah. And me, I think about it is that it's a waste of time.
It's
because it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, if you're going to get up at 5, if you're going to get up at 4,
it doesn't
you
do
just
anything.
Get up.
Yeah. I'd be fine if it just was wasn't here. Yeah, my grandpa had a few thousand in a paper bag in his VW van. We kind of flipped cleaning it out. Yeah. I bet. Yeah, I bet. Her dad kind of started to get dementia a little bit, and when over the last couple years,
we found his wedding ring in a pill container in the Goodwill box, along with some money and some family heirloom jewelry.
Stop the time changes. Still Ross says, Tag, do you think these bank failures will affect credit unions? I absolutely do. Absolutely do. It all depends on how much they're leveraged. It all depends on what they loan you. Because here's the thing, when you loan money out, it's a risk, right? And I come from the risk world. And so, I think what it really comes down to is how good a risks did they take? And, when these banks and credit unions are being pushed to loan out money based on, things other than credit, right? Your environmental, social, and governance score stuff, right? Your gender, I'll leave it at that. But right, I could go way down that road. But when they're pushed to make decisions about stuff like that, it further leverages them. And so, yes, I would say they're absolutely just at risk, and I would absolutely keep money somewhere other than a bank. I hope they stop daylight savings. Yeah, me too, Sam. I found an article yesterday, Heidi says, from last year saying they were going to make it permanent this year. Yeah, I think it's a waste of time. I don't think nature pays any attention to our clocks or calendars, says the clockers. See, I agree. And I think you're adjusting your sleep patterns anyway.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? I don't see how you gain anything. Mr. Rain, we do the same thing, but we get 2% back on our card. They don't get any interest from us. Yeah, and I think as long as you can pay off your credit card, it's fine to use the system to your benefit. But just don't ever get in a spot where you can't, right? Double Dog, hello. Grateful Heart says, I'm an anti-time changer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, they just blow by me. There's just so many of them, it's just hard to get to them. Are you sure your dad wasn't my Grandpa B? Yeah. Yep. Might have been, huh?
I think that's probably a common thing, actually. Because just like when I bought the house in Lincoln and that black powder gun was stashed underneath the stairs, right? Because they put it under there and they were tucking it away for safe keepings, and then they forgot about it. And then I bought the house and hey, here's a black powder rifle, right?
Yep. Well, if I die, you're going to find stuff in every corner and every crack. Yeah.
I told the kids that we should probably do a one over, let them know where some stuff is so that they're not
Yeah. A terrible injustice in modern churches, spending millions and millions to inflate ourselves. The church is us, believers, not denominations, buildings, etc. It's a well-oiled machine, modern church. Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of stuff on the news about, some of these ministers and stuff that have these gigantic churches and drive Porsches and I think it's just totally losing their way, Anyway, farmers watch the weather, not time. Agreed. Yes, it is exactly what we do. We have literally made thousands of dollars on our credit card over the years, but have never paid a cent in interest. Oh. Let me see here. I wish they would end daylight savings time on a regular time. The change now is stuck around modern issues and the normal work week. Yep. Mr. Rain says, I'm turning cash into tangible assets. This is an active move to become as independent as possible. This I agree with 100%. I would much rather be in assets than be in cash. They used to blame the reason on farmers, which is stupid because as we all know, they get up before dark 30 anyway. It was all about corporate greed. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to try not to lose anybody here. Jonathan says, yep, I'm a proponent of using that credit card for cash back when I buy things from big box chains, etc. I do use cash for more local or small business things.
Yeah.
Never know what you will find in a book from a secondhand store. I found receipts for purchases from 1904 to 1929, and one found the guy was from Mississippi after I researched. Pretty cool. Tag, your video the other night, they talked about solar power for zones. Is that better than complete solar power? Starla, I don't know. I mean, there's some advantages and disadvantages to it, right? I mean, I have a big solar system and it powers everything. And so I've got one centralized, powerhouse that everything comes together. All my parts are in there, all of those kind of things. But the way that they were doing it on the other one, they had all these little solar systems, and that'd be nice because if you lost one, you wouldn't necessarily lose the other.
That's so weird because we never even contemplated that.
No.
How you got two minds who just go, I am going to do this. And they go, I'm going to do this. And it looks totally different. I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
And they both work.
They work fine.
How I think it's just insane how.
Yeah. I mean, I can see
it looks different to everybody.
And there's no right or wrong. Right.
Yeah.
The thing I like about my big system versus a bunch of little systems is I can weld with it. It'd be pretty hard to build a bunch of individual systems.
You couldn't have one big one that just did the welding.
Well, you could, but the amount of money you'd have to put into a system that'll handle that, right? It would be significant. It'd be more than a washing machine. So I don't know. I mean, I see their advantage because they can afford to lose part of it and still be okay. But the other side, I can see my advantage. I have big power and I can do big power things, right? So that's a good question.
Yeah. That just goes to show you that this life is different for everybody.
Yeah. One more rock says, leave a treasure map.
No kidding.
Yeah. What was for dessert tonight, Tag? You meant what would it be? Make me for dessert tonight?
Oh. Dessert. Chocolate milk? Does that count?
Don't even try that shit. You can't use that answer.
You had pie yesterday. Does that count?
Quit living in the past, girl.
Oh, man. He had homemade pie yesterday. I cut the strawberries and the blueberries up and the apple all by myself. Mm-hmm. It was like real fruit
nobody's
pie.
Nobody's buying it.
It was real fruit.
Nobody's buying it. I'm not nuts. Good evening. Says daylight savings time is pointless. Yeah, I totally agree. Cows don't like the time change either. A pain in the butt for the farmer. Yep. My oldest daughter tells me that I need to put together an Oops, I'm Dead book. Oh, that's a good idea. With all the info and hiding places. Yeah. There was an entire generation, not quite 100 years ago, that saw all of their savings and banks vanish. Yeah. Guys, I wouldn't do it. I'm telling you. I've lived through it. I'm not going to do it. And, we leave enough money in there to pay the bills. And if there's excess, that's fine. But I'm not a big believer in leaving a bunch of money in there. I know people have said, I get off at 5 p.m. and I got a lot more daylight to get chores done. Yeah, well, there's the day gets longer, right? There'll be a time here that it's light at 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock at night and it's still daylight
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it's just weird.
Yep. But yeah, I would love if they go back. Let me see here. Or if you eat out, always pay in cash. I think paying in cash always is good anyway. Windmill farms, only 20 years before they go bad, they fall 18 years short of even breaking even. Yeah, it's just that whole thing's a scam. That's just like electric cars. Oops. Where did I go?
Always.
Right there. Then they saw President Roosevelt have the bankers stand by and take all of the gold out of your safe deposit box. Yep. And press paper money into your hand in exchange. Those folks hid things in their house. This is when they they got rid of gold. Oh, sorry. I meant tip in cash. Yeah, well, that's good for the waitress for sure. Take any advice on how to hide seeds outside buried. Advice as to what to use to bury them. I mean, I know a lot of people who do caches and they use, PVC pipes and anything that seals, even ammo cans that will seal down tight.
You have to seal them though.
You have to seal them because water will absolutely find its way in. Yeah. Sam says, I want a solar powered system. I don't want any bills. I desire to truly live off the grid. Yeah. The thing to understand though, Sam, and I'm sure you do, but just so that I point it out, is it's not, you don't have any bills, but it just means you prepaid it all. Right. I mean, you spent, like I said, my system cost me $53,000. And that's with me doing all the work. And so how many electric bills would I have gotten out of that 53,000? Right. Yeah. A lot. I don't know what the number is, but a lot.
I always thought that getting off grid was like the final destination. and it's not.
It's not. What do you mean by that? Explain that.
I thought that, getting off grid, like that was what we were always going towards. That was what we were always trying to get to. And we're off grid and we work harder now because of it.
Yeah. And why is that, you think?
Because we can't just flip on flip on the heat.
Yeah. It's because freedom is super inconvenient.
Push a button, boop, 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 66 degrees.
Yeah. Freedom is super, super inconvenient.
Right.
Right. It just is. There's nothing convenient about freedom.
Freedom is, yeah.
It's super inconvenient. Richard says, I ran 3 small solar systems and loved it. Always pay individuals in cash so they don't have to report it. Rain Country. Yeah. And this is a really good point, Rain Country. I was asked about, ways to be, civilly disobedient, ways to starve the beast. And this is a great one. Because by paying in cash, that person then doesn't have to claim it, right? Which again, starving the beast just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Silver Lining says, B, have you done your first Permi class?
We are sharing a computer for that. So, Permi class.
So yes, you've done one.
Yeah. I've done the first 2, 3, I think. I think I'm working on the third one. But you do have to sit and watch them.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I like her. She's makes sense. And I like it because too, I'm like, yes, I was right. But yeah, it's a whole lot of just knowing what you're doing, the soil and what components are in each item that you're the inputs that you're trying to put into the ground, like being able to figure it out. So
you like it?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Big Kid says it makes more dollar sense to have one system. Yeah, probably from a dollar perspective it does, but from a redundancy perspective it probably doesn't. So it depends. Right? I mean, that's why I'm saying it just depends, right?
It depends.
Yeah. That is an excellent point about using a big system for something that needs big power. My brain went the other way. I've been planning all along on having individual systems for each thing. Yeah, it would not be cost effective to do that, though, if what you're trying to do is run big power. All right, where am I? Oh, my goodness. I lost so much here. All right, guys, I'm just going to have to start somewhere. I hit. Hey, Metaphysical Mike, thank you for that. Miley says, a lot of new money printed. We got to wear them out. Yeah. You need a lot of match containers and then store those inside another large waterproof container. That's good advice. That's good advice. The PVC caches I've sealed, I can't open. Yeah, if you seal them right, you won't be able to open them. You got to cut them open. One more rock.
Yeah.
If I plant 100-foot row of Kentucky Wonder beans, how can I speculate how many beans I will get?
Oh, well, you'll get a few. How long was the cowpea row?
About 100 feet.
So I planted 3 kinds of cowpeas on the back on the dam,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of deer and rabbit activity on the farther
Mhm.
away ones.
Yeah, but how many did you get? Out of so many.
Well, yeah, because the rice cowpea were really tiny, and I got a whole jar full of them. And the emerald eye were also, I got a half gallon.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, can anybody answer that question for Starla? On a 100-foot row, how many beans would you actually get? I've
well, it
never
just depends
counted
on
them.
how well. Yeah, it also depends on how well they're doing.
Yeah.
Because one bean will create a plant,
Yeah.
which will then produce, 70
Yeah.
pods, which then there's 5 beans in each pod. No, 3 beans. I guess it depends on what ones you're
Yeah.
planting, but
Yeah. Hippocrates Garden, you are a wealth of information. He is. He
Mhm.
absolutely is. There's a whole bunch of times where he'll say something or, put a calculation up, and he's in all the Thursday chats. So we learned a ton there.
Yeah.
OTWP in the now. How are you? Look here. T-shirt. Freedom is inconvenient. Hey, that would actually make a good T-shirt, wouldn't it?
That is.
It's so true. It's so true. If you want to be everything to be of convenience, don't try to go off grid. Right?
Well, yeah. Because it is very much more convenient to
Mhm.
go to the wall and just hit a little button.
Yeah. One Step Closer says, B, I watched the Permi videos at 1.5 times speed. Is she slow?
Can you do that?
Yeah. Is she slow?
It can drag, but
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of information.
Yep.
So
To the point you're at now, how long did it take you all to get set up there? 3 years. So in 3 years, we took a blank piece of land, built a house, built water systems, built solar systems, built sewer systems, built the ponds. All of that stuff took 3 years. Sam Watt said, I would like to join the perma class. Yeah, so it's if you go, which oh no, that's a different class. I'll send you. I'll try to post a link on this video to the one that B is taking, Sam. Because I get
do that.
Yeah, and I've got a discount code in there somewhere for the. I just got to find it. It's not something I focus a lot on, but okay. Let me see here. Life Done Free. What about alternative power inventions you see, like bicycle attached to batteries, etc.? Do you feel that we will ever need anything that primitive? Well, I can tell you that, if you were just trying to charge a light or something, that would be okay. But Starla, again, I didn't know this, when I started this whole thing, but I'm going to tell you something. You could not pedal that bike hard enough, long enough to run anything significant, right? You can run lights.
Well, I mean, I use my beater,
mm-hmm.
To beat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's a primitive tool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some things you just use because you have them.
Yeah. Let me see here. I built my solar power over years and have several charge controllers so I could break it into smaller systems easily. That's a good idea. The bean thing sounds like a math problem I had in grade school. Yeah, the problem is you never get exact, right? Because each bean is different, but
that and the dirt is different and the rain is different and the climate.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There we go. Rickster. Gold is waterproof. Yeah, gold is waterproof. Multiple systems for redundancy, but try to make them compatible, such as 48 volt, 12 volt, or 24 volt, or at least a way to configure them easily. Last year, I did about 6 feet of green beans up a chicken wire trellis, and I got about 2 pounds, and then a frost killed them before they were really finished processing. So if for every 6 feet, he got 2 pounds, right? You can do that math pretty easy. OTWP in the snow says, glad I found your channel. I was off the wall Prepper channel got taken down. You have a lot of knowledge. Well, thank you. Well, I'm super glad you're here. We do these every single Friday night at 7:00. Well, until I have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then that sends a derail. So the end of this month, when I speak in Tennessee,
We'll do something different.
We'll do something different, but we're super happy you're here either way.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. So you make it flexible. You can do either or as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I built my solar system, I didn't know anything about solar, and so I tried to make it as adaptable as I could. Although I never really considered the individual systems, but I wanted to buy inverters that I could stack. I wanted to buy stuff that I could continue to grow with it. And we're still growing. I'd love to make my system even bigger, somewhere down the road. I'd love that. Silver Lining says it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, and it does depend. Let me see here. Try not to blow by this here. See. Starla wants to know, what about if something happened to that system, such as a lightning strike, and rendered that system useless? Would not one separate system be better? Yeah, from a redundancy, it probably would be. But the other thing that you can do on a solar system, even on a single one, is you can overbuild it. I've got more inverters than power I use. I got more charge controllers than I need. And that helps. But you're right. I mean, from a redundancy perspective, I think the little ones would be better. Myriad of variables for crop production: soil, sun, water, nutrients. Yeah. Oh, Evie, you're such a rock star. It says Evie posted a link: expected vegetable garden yields. Yeah, I wouldn't even know to look that up. Cul-de-sac says B, but how fulfilled, satisfied, content, happy are you now that you are there at your goal? I am guessing it is a different kind of tired.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't get to pick and choose on, I'm going to lay in bed today. I'm not going to go let the chickens out, or I'm not going to go feed the fire, or no, you have to do it. You have to get up. You have to feed the fire. You have to do the chores. The chickens, the animals,
Mm-hmm.
they have to be watered. Or they will die.
Mm-hmm.
Before the dogs, the bowl was, it was like 3 gallons,
Mm-hmm.
and it filled it once a week, and the dogs just drank from it. But no, chickens don't do that. They go to the bathroom in their water, and you have to change it out, and you have to let them out, and you have to collect them and put them back in. And the wood is like having a baby in the house. You have to get up and you have to deal with it. It does not deal with itself.
I was preparing for my speech in Tennessee, which I'm going to talk about off-grid living. And I asked B, we were sitting around the island in the kitchen, and I said, hey, what's off-grid living like? And she said, it's like having a newborn all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to do it. There's,
guys, freedom's not convenient. This is the best way to say it.
When you were out of town and the power went out, so I turned on the switch and the lights were not available. So you said, oh, just let the sun come up and they will charge. Okay, well, it's not, looking at it. Something didn't look right. Something didn't look right. Okay, go look at something else. Something didn't look right. Something didn't look right. Okay. The breakers tripped. Mm-hmm. Reset the batteries. Mm-hmm. Flip these breakers. That was a whole nother time. Do these breakers one time. Do those breakers another time. It
sounds easy.
Definitely a learning Well, because if I was at the other house, I would have just like, hello.
Yeah.
Here's my address. I want you to come and fix it. We're without power. And they're like, oh, you're without power. It's wintertime. I'll be right there. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Wait and look and see if the numbers are actually moving. If the numbers are moving, then it's probably working. But if something doesn't look right, you have to go investigate and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Hippocrates says, I can recommend Oregon State University or Verge Permaculture online courses. OTWP in the Snow says, we are going off grid for a backup system. We live in the Ozarks in a small cabin and now have a rain cache doing awesome 900 gallons in one rain. Yeah.
Must have been this last rain.
Yeah. OTWP. We have almost 8,000 gallons of rainwater storage here. on our farm, and it's nice when you get a big rain and everything gets filled all up.
3 inches in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we just had a huge rainstorm, filled all the ponds, filled everything. It was nice. Yeah. Richard says we planted 240 feet of green beans last year and canned about 200 quarts.
Yeah.
Tag, what do you still have to finish or build on your land? Oh my goodness, so many things. Right? I mean, so
the list is
some
long.
things that are on my list big this year. Many years, but whenever I get to them. So we want to do the butchering area. I want to get that done, and I want to make it very easy to butcher the chickens and the other animals. But I really want to do that outside. I don't want to do that in the processing kitchen. So the majority of the waste, is outside, and maybe even build a meat smoker there. Outside.
The majority of the mess.
The mess, yeah. What did I say?
The majority of the meat, I thought you said.
Yeah, either way. So that would be out there. My wood shop and my mechanic shop, I haven't even done any work on hardly.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to get them all
There's
finished.
not even a door on it.
Yeah. I want to build a barn for the animals. Would be high on my list. I want to get the Wallapini in. That would be high on my list. Lots of fencing to do. But here's the cool thing. This is what I can't wait to do, which I love this question, Rickster. When I get all the infrastructure put in, I can't wait to just take time to go into my wood shop and build rocking chairs. And, I thought about building tiny homes because I love doing stuff like that. Or, go out over to the creek beds over by her bees and build her a beautiful arched bridge that she can, frolic, across the bridge as she heads over to. I know she would. King being right. So there's a lot of things I'd like to get done. Yeah, many. Man, it just goes by. Guys, if I miss you guys, I'm sorry. Just to ask it again, and I'll do my best to get it. Yeah, and okay, I'll start right there. Okay, we are digging a pond. Oops, right there. We are digging a pond and have a weather creek. We sit in the middle of over 350 acres. Yeah, how cool is that? Yeah, OTWP, we just dug a big old pond last year here, and it's proven to be so much fun. We go out in the heat of the summer and swim in it and all kinds of stuff. I can't wait. I'm going to build the grandkids a zip line. Let me see here. Is the list ever not long? No, Rain Country. You know how it is. There's always something. And then as soon as you get that something done, you learn. Like there's things I've already built that I'd like to rebuild. Yeah. That I've learned something from. Yeah. Like, man, if I'd have just done it, a little bit differently there, Danny and Wanda have a great video on a smoker. Yeah, I'd like to get to that someday. Mr. Rain says, Tag and B are their own lineman, electrician, plumber, water treatment plant operator, water distribution operator, carpenter, metal worker, chief cook, and bottle washer. You forgot professional vacationer. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Let me see here. OTWP says, glad I found these folks. Got to run. Everyone have a good night. Good night. Or you could build were a Wallapini. Yeah. The Wallapini, the hole's dug. But I'm just waiting for the weather to change enough that I can start pouring concrete.
It is muddy.
It is just nothing but a muddy hole right now. On a regular basis, details. Yep. Okay. Let me see here. I am doing a small pond in a town plus a jacuzzi to grow fish and fish hydroponic system. I would love to do hydroponics someday. Yep. Good night, OTWP. Yeah, okay. Man, it just goes right by. Okay. Let me see here. Danny Wanda Smoker is epic. Yeah, I've seen it. I just haven't really been at a place. I could do it.
Seen it yet.
Oh, Milk and Honey, you crack me up. I said we needed to add professional vacationer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Milk and Honey says.
Thank you.
Milk and Honey says, and a professional dessert eater. Oh, that's awesome. Patrick plans to put a zip line in at our place down the road. Last year, he built 3 swings, put in a tether ball pole, and built horseshoe pits. How cool is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Rain says no time for vacation. Well, she sure to find a lot of time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And a concrete guy, too. Yeah. I can't wait to build a Wallapini. Alan wants to know who builds a solar kit to start with that you can add to as you go, or do you have to piece it together?
Yeah. Don't we, a couple of those that have the.
Yeah. So when I built mine, Coraline, I used Schneider. is my primary system. That's all my charge controllers, all my inverters. And I chose Schneider because they were very adaptable, great technology, great reviews. So that's the way I went. But if I could do it again today, there's a new company that's been out called Lion Energy who are making some stuff that's pretty adaptable too. And I'm trying to learn all I can. I've had several meetings with them because it seems to be a lot less expensive option than what I did. You know, if I compare systems to systems, I could have done the Lion Energy system for, 2/3 or maybe even half of what I did my existing system for. So,
wow.
OTWP, thank you very, very much.
And they're stackable.
Yeah.
You can add.
Yeah. Well, actually, and you can order them. Like if you order it from the factory, they'll even link them all together for you. Into where it's literally kind of plug and play.
Which you wouldn't think that would be difficult, but we ran into some.
Oh yeah, getting the inverters to talk to each other, that was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Let me see here. If another silly question, if cooking via wood underground, how to keep smoke from altering to your presence or the smell of food? I must have missed part of that conversation. Anyway, Social Credit. Hello, how are you? Says, are you what?
We are.
Yeah, we are, whatever that is. Yeah. I wish I could spend a week. Yeah. I wish I could spend a week with several different people helping and learning. It would be fun. Oh yeah. I love going to other homesteads and building things and doing things.
Well, you learn so much.
Yeah.
Everybody does things so different.
Yeah, it's so much. Hippocrates says, I got the electronics for my system from Current Connected, which is Victron, pre-configured kit, and batteries from Signature Solar. Yeah, I've done some business with Signature Solar before. They're a good company. Destiny, hello, how are you? Mr. Rain, we have Schneider, works good. Yeah, that's what I have too. Social Credit Score says, are you?
Still.
Yep, still.
Yep. You are.
Yeah. Yep. Tell her I said thanks. Yep. Let me see here. Social Credit is a troll tag. Well, Social Credit, I'm really, really glad that we have badass moderators who will put the hammer down. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, but yep. I have a peach crunch that I wish I could hand you, tag, and some Bluebell homemade ice cream. Yeah. I love all that kind of stuff. Yep. All that stuff. Yep. I think we had a spammer too, but you know what the cool news is? Rain is, look at that. They just took care of it all.
Yeah. Eagle Lover was on it.
Yep. Dude, she's a hammer. Yep. She's a hammer. With Flex Charge, you can add on amps if you need them. Very simple system. Oh, cool. I'm unfamiliar with that system. How far underground would I need to dig before I no longer need to heat the room? Well, the thing is,
talking about a Wallapini?
No, I think she's talking about
for underground,
under like a basement or something. You need to heat it either way, probably, because as you get down, 15, 20 feet, you're going to have cold. It's going to be 50 degrees. Now that's great in the summertime, and it's also great in the wintertime, but 50 is not a great temperature,
to grow in.
Yeah. Hippocrates says, I think Social Credit is a bot, needs to be whack-a-mole. Yeah, and
I think she did.
Eagle Lover whack-a-moled him.
Whack-a-moled him.
One step closer. Good night, bud. Hammer time. Yeah, apparently it was. Wrench. It's a wrench tag. Yeah. Yep. If you want to make homemade liquid smoke, check out the TV show Good Eats. I've been making my own for years. Oh, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Rain says 50 degrees.
I'll look at that.
Yep. What else do you want to talk about?
I like to use liquid smoke in my beef jerky.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything else on your list?
No, I took notes on things that I wanted to look up. When we start talking about things, there's things I want to look up. So I took notes on some stuff there. Nope. Oh, look, I even had written a list of stuff that I had started a list of things that I had started in the greenhouse, but nope.
So tomorrow, guys, is a magical
Saturday.
day. Yes,
Tomorrow's
because
Saturday.
I have auction day tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah.
I just put 2 and 2 together. Are we supposed to get sun?
Are you just waking up for the day?
Kind of.
Anyway,
no, it's the days are kind of like clumping together. So I have to keep, I'm like, oh, it's Friday.
Did you know if
we're
you
doing a live, it's Friday.
if you would turn the TV on once in a while, or maybe leave the farm,
TV.
you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so tomorrow's auction day, and so there's some pretty cool stuff that I'm looking at. There is a greenhouse, a 30 by 40 greenhouse, the top of it, and all of the trusses that are there, brand new in a box. And so I'm going to make a run at that. There is a hydraulic T-post pounder, which would run on my skid loader, which I would love to have. So I'm going to make a run at that. And then there's a whole bunch of pallets of building material, 2x6s, 2x10s, 2x12s, 4x4s. There's a whole pallet of green treated 4x4s. And so I'm going to go make a run at that. I'll do a bunch of filming so I can share it with you guys. So that will be really, really cool. And then other than that, just what do you run into? T-posts, cattle panels.
And then what?
You know.
Yeah, because my thing says it's going to be raining, high of 41.
Yeah, see, this is
that's
awesome.
Like auction. That's prime auction.
Prime
weather.
auction. Yeah, so if it's raining and 40 all day long.
90% chance.
Yeah, so a lot of people won't be out there. And so since a lot of people won't be out there, I might be able to actually steal some of these things and, you know, get some really, really good buys that will help us continue to grow, right? I've got a couple pallets of building material out here now that I haven't used, but.
Well, you have a building going up.
Yeah. Yeah. So in case any of you guys are interested in it, or the guys that are up here that are on the live who have places up here or have built places up here, if you go to Hoffman Auction at Effingham, Kansas, that's the one I'll be going to tomorrow. And there's a sell bill in there. And so if you want me to keep an eye out for something for you, you know, let me know. Hey, Tag, imagine floating garden plants in your pond to keep algae down and best crops. Yeah, I've done a little bit of reading about this. I'm just not really sure which ones to buy. Like, I'm just not up to speed on this. Big Kid, you got, in my climate, a recommendation of what you plant? Because I'd love to do that. Yeah, Silver Lining, thank you. She says, I hope it rains for you. Yeah, I hope it absolutely pours.
Well, and the high is 41. So
yeah,
it'll be 28. The low is 28.
Yeah, so when I get there in the morning, first thing, it'll be in the
cold and
20s,
wet.
And it'll be cold and wet. And so most people don't have the stomach for that, and so they won't stick around. But I can assure you, I will be there. I bought a 1992 Chevy, what are they called? C30s, you know, like the 2-ton truck.
Yes.
That a lumberyard had with a big 24-foot flatbed on it. And I think I gave $1,000 for it that day and drove it home. And so you just never know, you know. So I hope it rains too. Let me see here. I did that in horse tank. Oops, sorry. Tiny pieces. Jack Sparrow has some awesome water stuff going on. I don't think algae is a problem of his. Yeah. Yeah, Richard says burr, cold, rain. Yeah, but nobody will be there. Duckweed is a good native floating pond plant.
Yeah. Duckweed.
Yeah.
But isn't that what you thought was out there growing?
Yeah, we have some in our pond now. But let me see. Would try regular stuff you eat. Trial and error. I must have missed a comment.
Probably growing in the stuff you regularly eat. Stuff that you can grow. I mean, if you can grow it and you can eat it, then hey.
Yeah. There's what else is at the auction? Lots of 4-wheelers, lots of UTVs, lots of tractors, lots of skid loaders,
animal feeders,
of
course, tractor parts.
Yeah, lots and lots of stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, lots of side by sides.
Yep, there's a whole bunch of them. Yep, I seen a log splitter.
Oh, did you mention the
mini excavator?
Yeah, mini.
Yeah, they have a little mini X there. It's a small one.
It was like a 10-inch bucket.
You should write those down so we can look at it because I've never heard of them. Yeah, Porterhouse, guys. Richter says Hippo Porterhouse has a great video on biochar. Porterhouse has a lot of great videos. That guy's really, really smart. Really, really smart. Yeah, I wish all of you guys were down here in Kansas. I'd take you all to the freezing auction with me.
Well, water hyacinth.
Yeah. Half Bubble Off Plum says my brother-in-law loved going to auction. Would always come home with some kind of heavy equipment for his ranch. Yep. I went to Ritchie Brothers auction a week before Christmas. Rain, sleet, snow, wind. It was packed. And folks were buying things for more than new, standing room only, and folks online bidding. Crazy.
You saw that one time too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if stuff is going like that, you'll just come home.
Yeah. If it's everything's going out done, I'll just leave and come home.
And if they have online bids too, right? Because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
Yep. On some items.
Oh, some items.
Some items. Yeah. Richard says 1 day auction with all that stuff. Oh yeah, they'll run 3 rings, so 3 trucks will be going. And actually, one of the arts is how you get to the stuff you want because you got 3 rings. And so what we do, we team up together. And so I'll have a bunch of my buddies there, and they'll have my lists, I'll have their lists, and we'll run it all together, kind of as a community. Left and Free, my community has started. Good. Did my first barter this week. Nice. Windows I had tore out of a demo for polythyrene greenhouse panels. You were right. Community is possible. It is right.
Nice.
Yeah, and those polythyrene greenhouse panels, man, I take all them I could get. You keep a hold of those. Those are valuable. Have to be careful with water. Hyacinths. They're not native and can be invasive in warmer climates. Oh, cool. Miley says, tag, maybe a 48-volt cart for you. I would love to find a 48-volt golf cart. Charge it right off my solar system. Never need gasoline, right? You'd have a new garden cart, right?
I'd be okay with that. They don't go very fast.
No.
I don't need it to go very fast.
We do not have local auctions for stuff like that, so Patrick attends them online. But we got great deals and needed items, including our excavator. Yeah. Amen. I'm
gonna go check the fire.
Okay, go ahead. Starla says, Skanes Girl says, Starla, that is awesome. It gives me hope. Guys, community is possible. And the thing is, you just got to get it started. And when you start it, then it kind of picks up steam in a lot of ways. You know, and it's for some regard, it gets easier, and in some regard, it gets harder. At Cul-de-sac, I said I had no idea auctions are done online. Oh, yeah, there's lots of online auctions. Mr. Rain says, I have a great wife that lets me buy stuff. Yes, you do. I'm fortunate that way too. Tomorrow morning when I get up in the morning, I'll say, B, I need a check, and she'll just hand me one of my business checks, and then she'll see what I get when I get home. But I'm pretty frugal. I'm a big believer in discipline when it comes to auctions. So like I already know what I'm looking at. I already know what I'm willing to pay it, and I'm not going to budge off of that. I'm just going to stay in my lane. And, you know, if I can get the stuff bought for that, then I will. And so like, I'll give you an example. There's a pallet of 100 2x6x8 pine. They look fine. I went and took a look at them. It really seemed to me, most of them looked to be pretty straight. So obviously you got to figure on, you're going to have some, you know, waste in the middle, or you're going to have some bowed ones. But anyway, so there's 100 of them. And so I can buy that 2x6 right now for about $5. And so at $4, I'm not buying it because it's not, the distance isn't far enough away. I'll wait till I need them and I'll use my money for other things. But if I can buy them for $2 or $2.50 a piece, I'll buy them all, because now I'm 50 cents on the dollar, you know, and that helps me go further. And so so like, for example, the 2x6s is that my budget on those is $3 a board. And so I'll pay $300 for that pallet, and we'll just see how it goes. Juby Joe says, first time my dog did not fight me at bath time. May it have been my lavender in the bath water. Best live. Thank you for this evening. Oh, of course. Thank you. I have no idea how to work the auctions. Oh, girl, Silver Lining. Let me tell you something. You got to come to me with an auction. I'm a pro at it. I love them, love them, love them. You come to me and we'll deal with it. I promise you. Let me see. I have not been able to find Wisconsin on freesteading. Must be doing something wrong. Richard. Okay. So tell me, are you using freesteading on a computer or on a phone? Let's start right there. Tamber says, I need a front end loader for my Kubota. Yeah. Do you know what kind? Does it have to be Kubota? Let me see. Someone gave it. Cool. When you get into the subgroups, do a search. Yeah, it's actually really easy. If you just find the states pages and then go to the subgroups and then find your state. On a Chromebook. Okay, so yeah, so you're are you using the app, or did you download the app on your Chromebook, or are you on the website? When I buy something at auction, my wife says, you already have one of those. And I say, yeah, but I don't know where it is. Yeah, I tell Bethany all the time when she says, you don't have one of those. I said, yeah, or you already have one of those. I say, yeah, but now I have two. Right? 2 is 1 and 1 is none. We all agree to these terms. All right, Richard. So if you're on the website, okay, on the right left-hand side, go to communities. And when you get into the communities, go down and find the state pages. And then when you open the state pages up, you'll see down just a little bit, it will say subgroups, and you'll see a number like 52. That's the 50 states plus District of Columbia, et cetera. And so if you click on that and then just go to Wisconsin or whatever state you're looking for, and there you are. Yes, you were supposed to say backups for the backups. There you go. Yep. Naughty Bird Company says, I am behind on the live. We have 3 Lion Energy portable power units. So good. We use the mini one all the time. It runs the TreeGar. Yeah, I'm getting into Lion Energy a little bit. You know, I've had some conversations with the president and CEO, and I'm kind of starting to get to know them. And I'm going to, you know, try to strike a freesteading deal with them if I can. But so far, so good on my end too. I absolutely believe biochar. I'm sorry, Life Done Free. Miss B, do you know anything about money plant being medicinal for calmness? I don't know anything about it, Starla, but she might. She went to go stoke the fire, and you know it's still cold out. You know, it'll get in the 20s tonight, so she wants to. For some reason, she seems to think that the house needs to be warmed up. So. All right, what else is on my list? Don't forget, Self-Reliance Festival is at the end of March. Midwest Preparedness Project is at the end of April. I hope to see everybody at, you know, some of those. I'm super excited about the Midwest Preparedness Project this year because I'm not speaking, and which is awesome. And I don't have anything else scheduled, which is awesome, which means I get to hang out with everybody and sit around the fire and have fun, and I have no stressful things going on in my life. Hey, Ghetto, what's up? It says that backups for my backups is not a true statement. I brought home a woman as a backup to Mrs. Ghetto, and now I'm walking funny. Yeah. Well, I think a backup to a backup, there's maybe some things we don't need a backup for, Ghetto. Just some fair advice. Yeah, Ghetto, good evening to you as well. Thank you very much, Evie. I do not know about money plant, but I find catmint to be very good for calming nerves. Catnip works just as well, if not better, but I grow catmint. Cool. I have got to have a conversation with you. Okay, sorry, that's Starla talking to Hippocrates. We are getting a big dip in temps next week here in the Deep South. It's been, you know, we're running on a lot of days with not a lot of sun here. It's been cold. When I mean cold, not really cold, right? Lows in the 20s, highs in the 40s for about a week here. I'll be there. So pencil in time to do some serious chatting. Yep. Amen. Yep. And again, I don't really have anything scheduled. There's one speaker I want to introduce because I brought them from Georgia with me because I just loved her story. So I want to introduce her personally, but beyond that, I'm going to do a whole lot of hanging out, you know, get some serious chocolate milk and just chill. Let me see here. When will there be a freesteading weekend event? You know, Rick, so we've been talking about this a little bit about maybe trying to do a big, when I say big, you know, kind of ungovernable festival or a big, you know, something like that. But the problem, there's a lot of time and a big commitment to do it. And so we're just still having conversations about it. Hey, Tag, can we talk about something? Sure. What I think is a major mistake most new preppers make, buying ammo. New prepper shooters tend to try and buy far more ammo immediately than needed at first. Yeah, you know, Big Kid, I would say that differently if it was me. I would say that most starting preppers take an unbalanced approach to being prepared. And so they buy too much ammo or too many guns or too much whatever it is when it's really, you know, kind of a balanced approach. You know, I've said this often about the ungovernable score. What I like about it so much is that it balances everything. And so, you know, before I owned 2 guns, I would make sure that I owned some food. And before I owned 2 guns, I'd make sure I could filter water, right? And so I couldn't agree with you more, but to me, it's more of a balancing thing. Let me see here. I used to drink, not for me. We are pretty excited to come see you all at the end of April. Yeah, Mike and Jen, I can't wait to see you guys either. And, actually, I'm praying that I see you before that, right? For some reason that just happens to happen. But I can't wait to see you guys either. And we will totally chill and just sit around a campfire and talk, and it'll be really, really cool. And the community is great. You guys will see. For those of you guys who haven't come out, the community is just a bunch of laid back people sitting around a campfire having fun. Let me see here. Yep. Good evening, Ghetto. Can Shaw. Hello. How are you? Rain Country says, I use yarrow mostly topically, but it is a good option for tea. I do that on occasion. Cool. I've seen too many areas and landscapes decimated by invasive alien species, horrific displacement of not only plants, but insects and critters. Do a potluck and a list of peeps for setup and cleanup. Yeah, so we do a big potluck at the Midwest Preparedness Project on Saturday. You want to talk about a ton of food? Oh, my goodness. Let me see here. Think about how many gunfights do you expect to have and how much ammo is enough? Yes, balance is key. Yeah, to me, it's just balance. I'm a big kid. You probably don't know this about me because I never film these things, but I'm a big reloader. And I really enjoy doing it. It's fun for me, but it gets to a point where you're like, I just don't, I really need to go get more chicken food. Juby Joe says, I bought too much grains and canned goods. I see there again, balance. If you've got a whole bunch of food at home and a whole bunch of medical supplies at home, but you can't protect any of them, that's wrong. Right? Again, I think it takes balance. Let me see here. Mike and Jen said, I think you may be onto something. Mike and Phil hit it off pretty good. I told you, Phil's a really good dude. Like I said, he worked for me in the financial world for 13 years and then kind of went out on his own. And he's just been a good cat. And he's helpful and he's all of those things. And he'll work hard and he's hungry. And so don't be surprised if he blows up your inbox.
He's always in a good mood.
Always in a good mood. Yeah. Rickster said you can never have too many merino wool socks. You can't. I agree. I actually like wool. And I want more wool blankets. That's something I wouldn't mind having some more of. And we have some.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at here? Evie, no doubt a landscape can be massively changed. Sorry, blows right by me, guys. Or what is desired by introducing other species that can outcompete, likely due to lack of natural controls. Mozan, would I say that right? How would you say that?
I don't know.
Mozan, FF. Good morning. Well, good morning to you. It's evening here, but hey, good morning to you. Where are we at here? Hey, RN. Good, glad you made it. Cul-de-sac says, I really been enjoying lemon balm for relaxing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got some black sunflower seeds at the bowl part at the store today for my chickens. So, can grow it. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have taken bird feed and grown the seeds out of them. I see newer people all the time saying, oh no, I got to buy 10,000 rounds for everything now, just now. No, I'm telling you, it's a balance. Guys, here's the thing about prepping a lot of people don't know, and I tell them this all the time. Prepping just doesn't mean for bad times. I want to say that again. Prepping does not mean for bad times. If you are really prepared, you're prepared for good and bad. Mm-hmm. Right? This is why we have a retirement. This is why, people do these things, or this is why they build assets, is you're preparing for those good times. So my advice to all preppers out there is take the balanced approach and prepare for everything. Let me see here. Life with Mike and Jen says, well, they did talk about blowing stuff up, and I don't think it was an email, stumps and such. Yeah, that none of that surprises me. Rickster says the best balance is getting a little of everything each month. Couldn't agree more. Okay, I'm probably coming in the middle of a conversation here with Rain Country, but she says, I get it on the joke of the tree. I felt like that one summer, but I still had plenty to share with my neighbors who was really needing it. And she said it really helped. Yeah, Donna says she loves wool socks. It's going to snow again this weekend. Man, I hope I'm saying that right. Mosian FF says, where are you from? We live in Kansas. Right smack of the USA. Yep. Tag, you nailed it with balance. I agree 100%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's about the whole prospect. People think preppers are this weird outcast, when the fact of the matter is every single person that has a retirement plan is a prepper. Every single person that buys insurance, whether it's car insurance or life insurance or health insurance, they're preppers. And so, but to me, to be prepared isn't selective, right? It's everything. If times get tough, or even if they don't. Yep. Right. Prepping can simply mean not needing to go to the store all of the time. And that is a pretty positive thing. Amen. If you buy TP more than one roll at a time, then you are considered a prepper. Yeah.
You can buy it in one roll at a time.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Yep. Life with Mike and Jen says, not preparing for doomsday, preparing for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole lot of truth in that. When it comes to ammo, I choose quality over quantity. I don't buy cheap target rounds. I buy lethal, unforgiving stuff. Yeah, Drummondson Live, I think that's true for anything you're going to store, but if I'm going to shoot steel, I'd rather have the target rounds, but I just reload my own. I have progressive presses and stuff, so I'll just load them and then go down there and shoot. Let me see here. There's a conversation going on about kudzu, but I missed the beginning of it, so I'm just going to
skip it.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going on. Yarrow is a blood clotting agent too. I didn't know that. Yes, I can't wait to share for a day or two. Yeah, got to run. Great stream. Hey, Porterhouse, good night. And I will see you very soon, my friend.
Yeah, time's getting closer.
Yep. Cul-de-sac said, I'd love to get advice on a boomstick for a lady with a little weak arthritic hands would be best. I know my son will move out someday, and I can't leave my safety 100% to him. Totally agree. B, you got any advice well, what about your little bodyguard? Because you got a 380 bodyguard, and she mostly carries a Glock 40 caliber, but
yeah,
the bodyguard's pretty light, right?
It is light. It fits into my bikini.
Yeah.
So it's
what about the trigger pull?
Small. It's different than the Glock. I prefer the Glock. It's just heavier.
Yeah.
And when it's hot outside, it's just hot and heavy. My holster's leather, so then it gets wet, and then it just is grody. Well,
you guys heard it here first. My wife carries a handgun in her bikini while she gardens.
I do. It fits ever so snugly right there.
Yeah. So if anybody was curious why I have this big camera on my house, you now know. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, I've tried out all kinds of holsters and such. So
yeah. Let me see. Juby Joe says, I was a prepper in the hurricane-prone areas. Grocers empty out in 3 grueling hours. Yep. Sorry, it was moving up, and I was trying to chase it. Yeah. Bodyguard has a hard slide, says One More Rock. You agree with that? Think that's hard?
No. I don't think it's hard because the alternative is the Glock.
And you think it's harder?
And yeah. Well, I think it's probably about the same.
I think they're all easy.
Yeah. I didn't have any issues with it.
No.
The one that I hated was the Taurus.
Yeah, the Taurus was not a good handgun.
I did not like that one.
Starla's got a question for you. She says, can anyone ever truly be prepared for every outcome? How will I know when I am prepared enough? How do I know when there is nothing else I can do to prepare for my security?
I don't know if you're ever done.
No.
Because there's always things that people bring up that you didn't think of.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys a funny story about this topic. So when I started prepping many, many years ago, I was prepping for a particular event, something that I believed. But as time has worn on and as I've got older, I don't even pay attention to that anymore. What I do is I try to be as self-sufficient, as free as I can, because one thing I've learned is that I will be able, regardless of what event, economic collapse or whatever it is, the more free I am, the better I'm going to withstand it all anyway. The more knowledge I have in my head, being able to produce my own food, create my own buildings, generate my own power, pump my own water, the better I'm going to be able to withstand all of them anyway. And then to me, it's not really a destination, Starla. So I'm not trying to get to a point. It's about a journey of pushing the boundaries to freedom and just trying to get a little better all the time. So I think your journey is over the day you die, right? Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. Arthritic hands may want something larger to hold easier, which is a great point. Permaculture wouldn't introduce such a destructive species not followed correctly, though. I mean, when you think about it, kudzu can feed the hell out of goats and people, but we don't use it. It's funny that folks have money in the bank and retirement, but look at folks who have a little squirreled away in assets like we are hoarders.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. Well, it's your definition of being prepared, right? You know. Big Kid says a 38 special with a 2 to 4 inch barrel. You'll never be fully prepared, and people who think they are fooling themselves, says Heidi. This is where faith steps in and just doing the best you can with what you have. Hilltop says, started prepping in 2018 and have experienced several hurricanes and ice storm, a husband's stroke with resulting loss of half of our income. Thankfully, every day for my pantry and oversight. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for all of the recommendations. I will look into them. Yep. Juby Joe says, well said. Thank you. Yep. I have a blood clotting disease. I need to find a natural way of thick. She said thinking, but I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. A natural way of thickening, maybe? No, that wouldn't be it. Thinking my blood instead of Love Knock shots and Elquis. Vinegar does not work for me. Yeah, Tamber says, damn, I buy toilet paper 1 case at a time. Yep, you're a hoarder. Mm-hmm. You were never done being prepared. Just continue to prepare for things to change. That's actually good advice. That's it, Evie. So, Mama Rain, can I have some more toys then? She's made it clear that you can have all the toys you want, in my opinion. What do you think? You agree?
I wasn't here on the conversation.
I tried to get her to agree. Proper prepping should reduce stress, not increase it. Totally agree. This is why, Hippocrates, I always talk about prepping for everything. Prepping for good days and bad. We don't only spend our time here on the farm prepping for an economic collapse, and we spend just as much time prepping for how we're going to manage this when we're 80. Right? And what we're going to leave behind. Crystal, hello, says no masters or kings. When the ritual begins, there is no sweeter, in a sense, than our gentle sin in the madness and soil of that sad earthly scene. Only then I am human, only then I am clean. Rain Country says, yes, my revolver is a Smith & Wesson 38 special air weight, and I love it. The Ruger is nice too because of the smaller size. Yeah, people who don't prepare are squanderers. If they want to call me a hoarder, I am not hurt by their opinions. Yeah, me neither. Oh, look at that. Mr. Rain's blowing all kinds of kisses. Yep, I think he's trying to angle for some more toys. That'd be my guess. More toys? Really, says Rain Country? You know, Heidi, you said 2 is 1 and 1 is none. I mean, you didn't use those words, but that's what you said, Heidi. So, Patrick, she said that. You can go back up in the chat. Don't let her deny it. Got to do is go back up in the chat. Hey, Carrots in the Rabbit Hole says, for dissolving clots, naturally look into natto. How do you say it good? Natto? Kinase?
Okay.
Natto kinase?
Sure.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Yep, she said backups to backups. That's right. Thank you, Ghetto. Buy what you want and label it backup. Go, Ghetto. That's awesome. Chris White says prepared to bug in is different when you have to bug out. Oh, absolutely. You know, say ounces is pounds and pounds is pain. And I hope we never have to bug out. That would be the worst of every situation, in my opinion, because then you are really subject to so many things, you know. Tambra, this does not surprise me about you. She says, I'm spoiled. I have a Colt 45 1911, which is a big handgun, you know. That does not surprise me. Yes, a fib too, but homogeneous factor 5 leading is the actual blood clotting disease. Okay. Let me see. Smooth. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. So it looks like she's agreed to me, Rain Country. Yeah. Let me see here. Pat is going to get the skillet. Yeah, Pat might get the skillet, Mike and Jen. But see, here's the thing is that Heidi did say backups to your backups. I mean, this did happen, yeah. Mike and Jen. It really did.
Well, I've heard that backups to your backups. That's a good idea.
Yep. And so he needs backups to his backups.
Depends on what it is.
What's the deciding factor?
Lots of things, you
Like?
know, space to store it, cost of the item, you know. We can't have backup solar systems to our backup solar systems, can we? I mean,
It'd be a great goal.
50,000, right?
Now, Joseph G says cayenne and hawthorn for blood clotting. There's no such thing as overkill. It's called being ready. Tag that. That's you a shirt. Back up my backups.
Back up my backups.
Telling you, we need to open a shirt store because there's so many great ideas. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Yeah,
I know, but we're the ones that would like this shirt.
I know, right? I'd spend all my money.
Anybody else would, right?
Carrots in the nanokinesi will look it up. Okay. Let me see. Hey guys, sweet save yours. You're back. Back up to solar is manual tools.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Cul-de-sac makes a super valid point. Tag and for the back for my backups. Yeah. Yeah, backups for my backups. Yeah. No, see, Mr. Rain, I think you're going to be just fine because you have all these witnesses that are in here that said backups to the backups. You heard it. I heard it. We all heard it. You heard it, right?
Yes.
Haha, we've learned that from the Rains. 3 is 2, 2 is 1, and 1 is none. Yep. GB Joe says, space, I'm out, but always have room for ammo. Yeah, there's never enough space. Hey, Mandy, good night. Early rise tomorrow. Yep. Good luck tomorrow. I have triple redundancy on solar system parts except for panels. Yeah, that's something I need to get better at. I've got some spare parts. I've got some spare panels, but I don't have enough to replace anything in significance.
Yeah.
Screenshots are great evidence in court, Mr. Rain. Main backups for solar is candles. Yeah. Yeah, and good night, Mandy. I had some other stuff I wanted to talk about on here. Oh, land.
Man, it's coming up like crazy, isn't it?
What is going on? So, guys, in this last week or two, I've had a ton of properties come up for sale. And ACM, good night to you. Of all
different sizes.
Yeah. Of all different sizes, all different shapes. I did the video of the 2 properties the other day. I've got 2 more that I've got to get out. I've got some more that we've found that I haven't done a video on yet, that I've already got people coming down to look at. And so it has just been this incredible blessing.
Yeah, we've got people coming that we haven't met yet that are coming to check out some land, right? Yep. New folks.
Yep.
Coming in the area.
Well, new and old. Right? Which is super, super exciting. And
people people we have been talking to, but we haven't actually met.
Yes, correct. And there's some missions going on with that. And so I think that's just super exciting. By the way, real quick, Rain Country said, just so you all know, I am laughing over here, but I am making an Afghan too, and you all are great. Yep. We know that, Rain Country. You know, I knew in the first 5 minutes of talking to you, when you first came on the very first live, that we would be poking fun forever. That's just the way it was going to be. Packrat says the land story from Missouri was very touching. My heart goes out to her. Yeah. And that's another big piece of land. You know, that one isn't even in our area. You know, that's several hours from me. But I couldn't help but just build a video for that. You know, but people apparently are liquidating, and there's a lot of land coming up for sale. So I think this is a incredible advantage to us. And man, I'm going to swing as hard as I can swing to get as many community members that we can get in. Even if, and I tell people this all the time, even if they're not going to be part of our community, you know, like an active member working, doing our things, at least by getting somebody like-minded, we can help get the vote, right? Which will change things, you know, on a local level too, you know? So I'm excited about it, you know, either way, no matter how it turns out, but it's just super, super cool.
Well, and even those people who are not moving into our general vicinity, we are helping them to fulfill their life's purpose.
Yes.
You know, getting them into an area where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. And just like that Missouri property, that big one, if we could pull that off, and a community ended up developing over there, because I know other homesteaders who live 15 miles from there.
Right.
And then you can begin to network communities together, which then you're moving produce,
Yes.
across the country, or, or lumber,
Well,
or, whatever it is. Yeah.
Right. I mean, what the news that we get now,
Yeah. News would be a big one. We could set up radio checks. We could set up communication systems, through them all. And so this is just really exciting to me. And I don't totally know where it's going to go when it's all said and done. But back to our general community, our community right here.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This is super important, guys. Like I said, we added a bunch of families last year. We're going to add a bunch this year too. And it just keeps growing. And then we go to these community events, and it's just more and more people. And it's just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I just love it, love it, love it. Terminator says, I saw your video about the young lady and her family's land. And she actually contacted me and asked me if I could help. And I'm like, I can't really help, but I can do a video.
That
I mean, that's what I can do.
Help. I mean,
yeah. Sam says you guys are helping many. We're trying, and I've told a lot of people this. I don't care where you end up, let's just network, right? Let's figure out how to do it. Now, if you're here, obviously, guys, I'm biased, because here we can do a lot of things, but it don't matter. I mean, whether it's in Georgia or Tennessee or, Nebraska and Iowa, wherever it ends up being, let's connect and see if, how we can work on creating, that parallel society, which I'm committed to doing. Nikki says, gosh, I just know there is a property out there for me. Nikki, there is.
Yeah.
There absolutely is. And I promise you, I am going to keep pounding the properties the best that I can.
And she's pretty set up too for getting herself into the perfect situation.
Yeah. And how lucky is that, right? Not lucky.
Yeah. Well,
no
no. She's been doing her due diligence for sure.
Mr. Rain says, the Honorable Governor of Kansas tag. Yeah, no, thank you.
We have Wallapines being built around here.
Yeah. It's funny. I talked to, we have a like-minded real estate agent who's here in the area. And so I try really hard when someone wants to come down and look, I get them connected, because talking to him about prepping or homesteading won't be weird. He's like-minded, and it makes people feel super comfortable. But anyway, so I always tell him, I'm like, all right, tonight I sent him over a couple's name and number. And I said, hey, bud, listen, here's the backstory. Here's the name and number, tag out. I don't,
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not, you got other things you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And just try to keep, pushing it along. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Well, and Tag and B, I'm watching. Sam, I'm good. Glad you're watching. Faith says property comes up around here in Southern Illinois, but it's expensive and not the space for free folks. Yeah. I think the problem is I think we're running out of safe places to go. I really do. And I think we've got to be careful. At some point we just got to start standing, because you just get, you just run out of, safe places. Even though we are far apart from most of you, being part of this is both encouraging and motivates us with our own little community we have been working on here. Amen. And you know what, Rain Country, I'm going to get up to your neck of the woods one of these days. And I would love to experience it all and spend time. You've been an incredible addition to this community. And I do consider you part of my community, especially if you continue to let Mr. Rain get more toys, because that will really show me your commitment level. Let me see. Apocrypha says, if I was governor. Okay. First thing, I would enact a rule for every one law enacted, 3 have to be repealed. I like that. You sign me up. Yep. Big Kid says, luck when preparedness meets opportunity. Yep.
Heard that before.
Couldn't agree more. Bring your raincoat, Tag. Yeah, it's cool. Tomorrow I'm going to be in man, why do we get so many people coming in here?
You're going to need some winter gear tomorrow.
I'm going to need winter
just
gear.
Waterproof,
yeah.
But...
yeah, I will dress in layers, and I will be warm the entire time, and I will be just fine. And he'll have
his thermos.
Yeah, I'll have a thermos of coffee.
Because I found your thermos in your truck, so I can actually wash it.
Yeah. One more rock says, Mrs. Rain taught me how to can meat.
Ah.
Yeah, how cool is that? Yeah, Mrs. Rain has been teaching many people on many things for a long time, and she's quite popular amongst our community. B watches her every video.
Yeah.
She's just smart. I may live far away physically, but I am part of this community. Rickster, you are. You know, there's so many of you guys that I've met and I've been able to chit chat with. You guys, listen, go to the Thursday Zooms. So y'all meet each other. I mean, I'm telling you guys, go. It is so much fun to listen to, you know, Hippocrates make, you know, off-sided jokes and, you know, all of these Terminator, you know, out of the blue to, you know, show us how she's dragging, you know, a full moose over one shoulder as she's chopping wood with the other arm in Canada in minus 700-degree weather. You know, it's just really, really cool. Yeah, Chuck will bring your rubber duckies, raincoat, life preserver when you come to rain country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoom is fun, you guys. I'm telling you, anybody who hasn't done it, go to Freesteading on Thursday, 7 p.m. There's a link. Click on the link and come chit chat. Evie says, I can't do Zoom. I don't have a mic or a camera. Well, get a microphone or get a camera. They're super, super cheap.
You don't have to have a camera.
You have to
but
have a camera,
you
you
have to have a microphone, right?
Yes.
You have to talk.
Yeah, because you have to talk. You have to communicate back and forth.
Can they type? They can type. No, because it's messages.
Yeah, there are people talking, so you got to at least have a microphone. Simpler Times Homestead said, I haven't yet, but I would love to do a Zoom. Yeah, you can do it on your cell phone. I did it on my cell phone last night.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it yesterday. It was my birthday, and we went to a cave tour. Oh, pretty cool.
Happy birthday.
Yep. Oh, damn. I got to relearn makeup.
Yep. I got to
Zoom works on the phone. It does. Cul-de-sac says, I love Hippocrates jokes, but I'm seriously a cranky mess on Thursdays. I keep thinking next time I will do it, but then Thursday comes and I'm almost in tears by 6 p.m.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing is that if at 7 p.m. you were done with your tears or wanting someone to help you get over your tears, the Zoom would be a great place.
It is a nice place to be able to just not think about what you want to tear about.
Yeah. Evie, can you do it on your cell phone? It says when she puts a mic on her computer, it cases my sound card to fry.
Oh.
Anybody got any advice for Evie? Another silly question. If I make my pond turn into a stream and recycle the water through the hydroponics, what can I plant along the stream in dirt that would do well? Yeah, this would be well, I mean, you'll get a whole bunch of answers to that. I don't know the answer. Rain Country says we might be able to do it from our cell phones. I disable the cameras and mics on our computers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I turn mine on and off each time whenever I want to use it, Rain Country. But you really should come to the Zoom. It's so much fun. I mean, people are silly and they're laughing and we're watching. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we watched a baby calf be born while we were chit-chatting about, you know, government oppression at the same time. It was just amazing. You know, absolutely amazing.
Oh, you do not need your makeup for your Zoom.
Yeah, you do not need your makeup for a Zoom. Yeah. Could the USA stop China from buying farmland here? Yeah, they could actually, not only could they stop them, they could let them buy it and then take it all back. You know? Let me see here. You log into a Zoom chat. Yeah. It's all it is. There's a link and you log in and then you chat. And there's typically, you know, 15 people in there or whatever it is. And we just chat about whatever the topic happens to be. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, for like 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours on Thursday nights. I love it. There's a lot of times, guys, because, you know, I talk so much on this, like doing these lives and that, but there's a lot of times I will turn it on and really not say much.
Yeah, there's a lot because we get to listen to other people talk.
Yeah, I get to hear all the other things that are going on versus
and then the updates on their homesteads and pictures and
yeah. Ghetto says the amount of money we owe China, don't they already own most of it? No, because there's this thing called, you know, the sovereignty, and America at any time now it would create the ripple waves would be huge, but they could absolutely tell China to go piss up a rope. They could.
That'd be interesting.
Well, it'd be ugly.
It would be ugly.
Yeah, but Rain Country says our internet's terrible, but our data on our cell phone works better. Yeah, I did the Zoom last night on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had great power, so we are too serious to be silly tag. No, yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the problem, Mr. Rain.
I misunderstood you then.
Yeah, Juby Joe says, okay, then fine, I'll floss and whiten my teeth.
You don't need that either.
No. In fact, I'll tell all you guys who are concerned about that, I'll tell you something else. You can actually just turn the camera off. So you can see the people. They can't see you. but you can still talk and back and forth if you're nervous about how you look. But guys, nobody cares.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, nobody cares.
We want to see the imperfections.
Yes. And I'd rather just see you, but Chris White says plant papayas, cattails, water iris, and it'll filter water. Yep. Where would I get the link for the Zoom session? Tag, I would like to join in. All right, Ghetto, listen. Go to freesteading.com on Thursday night at 7 p.m. And on the main news feed, okay, our very own Hippocrates Garden, who's in here tonight, will put a link. If you click that link, you'll join the meeting. Every Thursday, put it on your calendar. Everybody who wants to join the Zoom, open your phone up right now, put it on your calendar. Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. And it's more, I love doing it, Ghetto. I'm telling you, I just absolutely love doing it. I have leopard print duct tape over my camera because turning off permissions is not good enough when your hat is made of tinfoil. Mm. Yep.
Yeah.
Evie, you should be able to get a cheap phone. Usually 7 to 10 Central Time, but we have been known to go to midnight. Yeah, not this guy. I usually chat a few hours and then I usually go to bed because I don't do well late in the evening. I'm an early guy. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. I've been way behind. And then you can pick your nose all you want. That's right. Absolutely. You can pick your nose with the camera on too, Jonathan says.
You sure can.
Mr. Rain says, I'm not very pretty. Mr. Rain, we don't care, bud. We don't care. You can have goiters. You can have one eye. You can have, or a black eye because Heidi finally had enough.
Right.
It's all fine. We'll make fun of you, but it will be all in love. When my daughter and I drove up to the gate at our place, we both said at the same time, this is the one. When you feel your home, you're home. Oh, how cool is that? All you have to do is look at me to know for sure nobody cares. Skeins girl, you are beautiful. Check for a phone app on your computer that you can make phone calls. Oh, great call.
Oh.
Great call. Sweet Savory Words. Yeah, next week it'll be daylight savings time. Yeah, hopefully they get rid of it. Yep, Evie, not all of that stuff is extra paid services. Some of those apps are free. You know, I would look around a little bit, Evie, because it is really, really cool, the Zoom. And it doesn't take a lot of width. You can even, leave the camera off and just use the mic or whatever, We do a backstage hangout out almost every night and play some poker while we cut it up. Yeah, I love that. Elderberries like damp places. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to go down without losing everybody here. Okay. Does the place that does the Zoom daylight savings, what time would that be for us coastal North Carolina ladies to join? So it'd be 8 o'clock. 8 p.m., right? Because if it's 7 here, it'll be 8 there.
Where's she at?
North Carolina. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mr. Rain, I have seen your videos. You are prettier than I am. Aw. I never took Mr. Rain as a supermodel, but it's cool. I've been known to undercover my camera, stick my tongue out, and pick my nose for whoever's watching. I'd like that. Can I wear plastic glasses with the nose and mustache? Yes, you can. Tamara Smith says, yeah, right, Tag. I'm not talking. I'll bet you, Tamara, if you get on the live with us, you'll be talking soon. Or you get on the Zoom with us, you'll be talking soon. If I have one makeup for Zoom, I had to do something important that day. What you look like is superficial. It's what's in your heart that counts. Yeah, Zoom is absolutely doable for first boomers. It is. Yeah. It is. It absolutely is. Yeah, she said, yeah, North Carolina's an hour ahead. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Terminator said, I'm the Booganator in the dark. Yeah, she got nicknamed she was Terminator, and apparently someone gave her Booganator.
Why?
I don't know. Wait, if it's 7 here, Cul-de-sac says it's 6 on the East Coast. No, Colorado's behind us. The East Coast is in front of us, right? Yeah, that's what I think. Heidi thinks I'm cute. Well, that's really all that matters, right?
Yeah,
wear any kind of mask except a COVID mask. Yeah. You guys, I'm telling you, these Zooms, doing these things are empowering. They're empowering because there's people with the same struggles that you're going through every single day. And they're the same people who are questioning, how in the hell am I going to pull this off? And the same people that have the same victories, like, oh my gosh, I got such a great tomato crop, whatever it is. And so it's 9:19 my time right now.
Yeah.
Because she has her camera on, all you can see is the shine off her glasses because it's so dark and spooky.
Who?
Yeah, Jonathan's talking about Terminator. Oh, yeah, because she's up in Canada in a cabin in the woods, and so it can be dark.
And it was dark in her room, in her living room.
Yeah, your smile and heartfelt love is affirming. Yeah, guys, I promise you, there's no judging. Promise you, it is all 100 about just getting together and just figuring it out together. Boogeyman is in the dark, so she is the booganator because she is in the dark.
Terminator, booganator.
Yeah, Faith says, I actually like COVID masks. I can cover my face when old women wear too much perfume or there are boogery kids around. Yeah. I thought she said in North Carolina. That's East Coast. I must have heard wrong. Yeah, East Coast. He is cure, all right, roll. That's interesting. She meant Q, but she said cure. So I wonder what he's the cure for.
He is cute, all right.
Yeah, I like cure better. He's the cure. I like that better. Let me see here. Sounds like a professional knows. Yeah. Let me see. Skins Girl. Yes, I know. When I do Zoom, I mostly just observe, as it's a pain to engage in conversation as I have to type and it's not that fast. Yeah. Or she could be a disco queen. Yep. Yeah. It's 10:20 p.m. here now. Yeah. B, you look very pretty tonight.
Oh, thank you. Straight out of the shower.
Yeah, that's good. Seriously.
Well, I was rolling around the shipping container and trying to pick stuff up and moving things around.
Why are you picking stuff up?
There was a box of lids that got toppled over, and there was stuff that was all over the place. So I had to go and clean a bunch of stuff up of there. Mm-hmm.
But there was another reason, right? Because I said to you, what? Why are you rushing around trying to clean everything up?
I had to get my soap making supplies.
No, there's another reason.
Oh, you're like, hey, we're going to have company.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, we're going to have company. Oh, hey, we're going to have company. Wait a minute. Yeah, you said, we're going to have company on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Then you said, we're going to have company on Sunday. And I said, you already told me that. And you're like, no, somebody else. Mm-hmm. And then you said, hey.
3 people, actually.
We're going to have company on Sunday. And I said, another one? And you said, yeah, that's 3 people.
Yeah. So one of
different times.
One of our state reps is stopping by my farm. They want to ask more questions about being off grid. And so I know this guy really, really well, very like-minded. He's the black sheep of politics around here. And so I don't feel threatened in any way, but so he's going to come out, and I know he's really wanting to ask me, which has nothing to do with my off-grid system, but that's okay. He can play politics. It'll be fun. Let's see what we got is.
And then another homesteader, and then somebody else. Who's the third person?
What's DST?
Where?
Faith says, is DST this weekend? Ugh, I thought it was next weekend. I don't know what DST is. Do you know? Am I just
Deep South? No.
No. Yeah, I can't wait to start planting either.
Don't know.
Okay, it's a date for next Thursday, y'all. Wow, we'd love to have you. It's so much fun. Let me see. Who let the dogs out?
Or daylight savings time.
Oh, daylight savings time. Yeah, I think it's this Sunday.
Yes.
Isn't it this Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. For Zoom, if there's a lot of people, we even create breakout rooms. People can come and go as they wish to join conversations. Yeah, we did that last night for the first time.
The breakout room?
Yeah, that was really pretty cool. Except I forgot to go back. So I was in the main room, and then Silver Lining went to another room, and so I just followed her. And so then we were talking in there, and I never went back. I forgot that I was in a breakout room. I talked to her the rest of the night. Yeah, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So super, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. What else you got, bud?
Who was the third person that was coming over? We have
We have a community member coming over in the morning. You're going to make soap with.
Yes.
Right. Her and her husband.
Yes.
We're going to make soap.
Oh, the visitor from out of state.
Yep. Then I have the state rep coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the out-of-state visitor coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the farm next door coming over. So we'll have 4 that day.
Do I know about the farm next door coming over?
You do now. Big Kid said everyone ended up over in the breakout room and the main room was empty. Yeah, I forgot. We just started chit-chatting. Mr. Rain says, oh, nice. Breakout rooms equal clicks. Well, it actually kind of worked out nice a little bit, Mr. Rain. I have to tell you, because there was a conversation going on about guns in one room and a conversation going on about gardening in the other room. And you could, kind of go back and forth if you chose to. I didn't, because I just forgot. Let me see here. Cul-de-sac says, I guess I got to shower and wash my hair Thursday then.
What?
I might even put on some mascara if I can find it. Haven't worn it since 2019. Cul-de-sac, I'm telling you, nobody cares. They really don't. This is about, how you just, hang out together and learn together. And there's actually a lot of times I turn my camera off and just set my phone down as I'm working and I'm listening to everybody, This old gal can drive big trucks up to an 18 speed, but when it comes to the computer, I am tech challenged beyond. It is so easy. You just gotta click the button. It is literally, it's click the button. Yeah.
Sometimes it's that easy.
Yeah, laugh out loud. Now, B.
No kidding, right?
Yeah. No, it's all good, but I know you're just messing around. Tag for governor. No. You don't start that shit. Girl, fix your lashes. Sienna says. Yeah, I am so glad that we have so many brave and motivated people. Amen. And we got quite the community, and it's just been such a cool thing, What's this about? Breakout rooms? Great. Is this going to work like when you are the last to get picked for a kickball and you realize you are standing there alone? No. It's just the problem is if we get so many people into one room, then what happens is, it's hard to get everybody talking. So you can just create another room and, people move over and you move back and forth. It's cool. Let me see here. Did you get dessert tag? Nope.
You can have a cough drop.
No.
What do you want? I got 2 different flavors.
You just offered me a cough drop?
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
I got 2 different flavors. You can have zinc or thieves. You lucky fella.
This is ridiculous. Packrat says, Governor Tag, the time is now. No, it is not. No.
Or those squash cough drops.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thanks, Faith. Thanks. Yep. Tag and Grumpy for president. No. I probably just woke my mom up laughing. Squash for dessert. Disgusting. Yeah, I think Faith has made some squash jokes in the past.
Yeah. Good.
Pretty ridiculous, you ask me.
I got them squash
Mr. Rain,
seeds.
stop it.
I got them squash seeds. I was thinking of going and putting them around the wood line just to see if nature would take its abundance.
It will. Yes, Faith, you. The main Zoom room was firearm discussions last night. Yes. Isn't squash a dewormer? Is there a problem tag needs addressed? Oh, what is it with you guys tonight? Hippocrates? In your heart, you know he's right. Goldwater would be proud. Bull feces, the only reason I haven't run over the PC I use with my Ram 3500 is because my daughter's business owns it. Yeah, squash for dessert, pumpkin pie. And I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
So, hey, Donna W., you need to check your email, says Big Kid. They make a great squash candle. I didn't know that.
You hear all that?
It's dogs.
Coyotes.
I'm going to clear front yard shrubs and trees against the house and have timed out morning sun, open-minded, less is more. Yep. Boiled eggs for visitors tomorrow.
We should just have a bowl of eggs by the front door.
Sienna Polly, how are you? Love squash fresh out of the oven. I like squash too, guys. I just don't like it every single day for 6 months.
You did not get it every single day.
Pretty much.
No.
How often? How many times did you make it in the last?
I made it once a week for like all winter
long.
Now. Seriously.
Come on now. Don't be ridiculous. Nobody believes that.
Like a leftover here.
Nobody believes that shit. Nobody.
They believe me.
Nobody believes that
shit.
The
Truth.
Nobody believes it.
Jesus is watching.
No, nobody believes it. Packrat just said, I totally believe Tag and B are full of it. See right there.
No, that's not what he said. He said Tag needs to shut it and eat. Yeah, eat what's provided for you.
Oh, is that what he said?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay. Ghetto said he's on Tag's side.
No, he didn't.
RN says they believe you. Once a week with leftovers for 6 days.
Yeah. Tag is not a leftover eater, so I'd be pressing my luck to get him to try to eat leftovers once, not twice.
The moose up here in Canada love to eat squash.
See,
even the deer. Yeah, see,
Smart mammals.
Look at Mr. Rain. He feels sorry for me. Poor Tag.
Poor Tag.
Yeah.
Poor Tag.
Squash ice cream. Oh, that's gross. B, amen. B's fibbing.
I don't know if I could do squash ice cream.
Tamara says, okay, I got to go put the tractor in the barn and get chainsaw. Good night, unless you all are here when I get back. Good night, Tamara. We'll be here for about another 29 minutes.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. If B, starts to be nice.
Unless I can squash it.
Faith says, I'm just amused. I choose no side. Now, what was I supposed to have said? You were saying, Packrat, that she fed me squash too much. I just picked on you because you were the last comment. But then she read the comment, and that was the end of that.
For you to shut it.
Where is Gnome Lady?
Zip it.
Yeah, I don't know where Gnome Lady is.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Cul-de-sac says, Tag is making me nervous leaning back at the top of the stairs.
Oh, no, he's got lots of room back there.
Yeah.
The stairs
even if I fell completely back over, I wouldn't go down the stairs. Oh, goodness, where am I at? Skins Girl says, I reinvent leftovers. I still have, there's some things that are really good leftover. Chili is one of the things that I would put way at the top of the list leftover.
You would eat chili twice
twice
in a week?
I do. There's a lot of times I eat that, you don't even know about it. Did you know that?
Shut your.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Yeah. You don't eat when I don't give it to you.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You feed yourself.
I do. Can you?
When?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
You don't feed yourself. Yeah. You're talking about going through Freddy's.
No. I'm talking about microwaving something or.
You do not. I call BS. I call BS. You would starve before you went and microwaved yourself anything.
Yeah. Sam says he's enjoyed talking with you all and look forward to chatting again soon. Have a good night. Good night, Sam. Good chit chat, bud.
See, Tambra says you should take the thieves cough drop over the zinc.
Well, I wasn't going to choose a side until Patrick got involved, so I pulled out the pan. Yeah, you never know. I had some Mississippi chicken that didn't seal for breakfast and cereal for dinner. Yep. I keep hearing sounds, like something is moving through the walls, not just in my house, but even at the sleep lab too.
What?
Yeah, maybe it is. Juby says they live on leftovers. Just cook some turkey cutlets from the freezer from 6/20/21. Awesome and tender. Cul-de-sac loves leftovers. They taste like money. Oh, I think. Well said. Well said. Well said. Leftover salsa is good noon and night. Yeah, salsa would be a good one. Yeah, can't drain those batteries. Don't use that microwave, Jonathan. Jonathan, hush.
Yep.
Hush, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Tag, I'm rolling with B on this one. I would starve if Mrs. Ghetto didn't cook for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would not eat very well, but you know,
A cheese stick doesn't count.
I like me some cheese sticks. Y'all have a good night. RN, good night to you. Tag, do you know what your eating preferences make more work for an off-grid homestead lifestyle, right? Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't really know that, because B, if I'm lucky, I get a meal a day, and
Really? You poor thing. I've been making you oatmeal in the mornings. Then you get a Sammy at
that's all I had. It's all I could come up with.
Then you get a home cooked dinner, lots of times with desserts. You poor guy.
I know. Thank you. See, she finally admits it, you guys.
Wow.
You guys hear all that? Yes. Thank
3
you.
square meals
Thank you.
a day.
Thank you. Thank you.
With chocolate milk and coffee that you don't even get up and start the fire for.
Yeah. Man, I never get cookies or anything.
I know. Those are technically store-bought. Yes, I know. I had gone to Sam's Club and I got sidetracked by their little pack of cookies. I can make squash out of watermelon. Just throw it into the air and let it drop.
Rain Country says, tastes like money, best quote of the night. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Terminator, go all Gallagher splat. Tag would have lettuce omelets day and night if he had to cool.
If he had to.
I would. I had no problem.
Lettuce omelets.
Yeah, you loved it.
No, I caught you before you.
Actually, I think it was right after that where you said I would follow you anywhere.
I think it was before the lettuce omelet.
No, it was after. It was clearly after.
No.
In your old age, you're starting to slip.
It was not. I am, but it was not. It had nothing to do with the kitchen. I'm pretty sure with that. Wood cooking.
B slaps Tag, says Mr. Rain. Tag, you look so thin. I know, right, you guys? I know.
Yeah.
It's really rough around here, guys. It really is. Spoiled You Men by Awesome Women. I just add jalapenos, garlic, and green onions to everything the days later, and it kicks. That's actually pretty smart right there.
Yeah.
I am emaciated. All right. I'm going to see if I got anything else on my list.
Okay.
So are you done picking on me?
You started it.
You started it.
I'm going to finish it.
Are you? Oh, hey. So I've got this next week, I got a phone call with Derek Bros from the Conscious Resistance. And from, what's that look for?
I was just trying to see you from the side of my face.
He also is one of the founders of Freedom Cells. And so we're going to talk a little bit about networking the communities together. So I'm super excited about this. So that's coming up. We got the auction. We talked about Midwest Preparedness Project.
Which is coming up for those of you
so
who would like to come. I'm actually going to be able to go to that one.
Yeah.
The Midwest Preparedness Project.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to be camping out there, and you're not, right?
Are you camping out there?
I have
didn't
to.
know. What do you mean you have
Yeah, I have to at least some of the nights. Because I got people coming from out of state. And
in the middle of the night?
No, but...
You're there during the day.
Yeah, we'll work on it. I think I'm going to have to camp out there. Donna said my mom made cookies out of tomatoes. They were orange. We had to eat one before she'd tell us what was in them. Were they good?
Yeah.
LJC says, you say wood cooking and my brain automatically fills in hot out of the oven.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes. I know what you mean.
My mother and I made apple fritters today. Oh, I love apple fritters. You know what I love better than apple fritters is cherry fritters and blueberry fritters.
I've never made a fritter. I'd like to make a fritter. I'd like to.
I would like it too.
How to make a fritter.
I would like it too.
Apple.
We could add it to the rotation. Because we're about back to cinnamon rolls.
No, we're not. Is American Roots coming up?
Yeah.
She's gonna.
I don't know.
She's gonna.
Cul-de-sac says the later it gets, the funny you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets tired.
Yeah. Gets loopy.
Delirious.
You see, Tag is going to be chocolate milk wasted and won't be able to drive. You should camp to be one night.
Yeah. Bring all the animals with us.
Yeah. So we live 30 minutes from the campsite.
Mm-hmm.
And so typically, most of the time, we drive back and forth. Just we drive home, put the animals up, do the chores, go to bed, get up, drive back to the camp house. That's normally how it goes. But I want to stay out there at least a couple nights. But
the only thing about you staying the night out there is that you're perfectly capable of taking care of yourself, but you will not eat if somebody didn't make it for you.
Correct.
So you're gonna be like,
I'll be fine.
Hurry up, lady, I'm hungry.
No,
actually, you're not ever hungry, so it's
I'll be fine. I'll be just
You'll
fine.
just carry an empty cup around to everybody's tent. Please, sir, can I have some coffee?
Yeah, as long as I can steal coffee, I'm going to be good.
Like a prison cell.
Yeah. Nikki says,
have a cup that you can
yes,
drag it along the
Yes.
wall of the porta potty, so
Yes.
somebody will come and shut you up
Yes.
with a little coffee.
yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly how it works, actually. Okay, where are we at here? So, sure wish I could have found a man that liked to cook when I was younger. I have even washed dishes and cleaned the kitchen for him. I just don't enjoy cooking at all.
Or eating. You don't even like eating.
Miley says, Tag, are you talking about roughing it out there? Like, I mean, a tent? I have an awesome tent.
That's not roughing it, though.
Yeah,
when you
no.
have a air mattress and your
Yeah. I have a big tent that you can
feather blanket.
put lots of stuff in, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I actually like to camp. Is there a storm shelter at the campground? Because you know it will be April in Kansas. Yes, there is. There's actually a solid
Is it the
concrete.
bathroom?
Yes, the bathrooms, because they're solid concrete, top, bottom, sides, everything. B, he will pack canned chili. See?
He doesn't.
You know, the funny thing is, guys, is that the truth is I could go out there on Friday and not eat all of Friday
Mhm.
and not eat Saturday, and I'd be just fine.
Well, didn't like you and Jeff, you guys would go out into the wilderness when you were
Yeah.
in your youth and catch a fish and cook it on a rock?
Yeah. Yeah, there was times we'd go camping
No,
and never bring
Don't
food.
take
And
food with you.
we would just deal with it when we got there.
But you had your smokes and your one in each sleeve.
Mike is the same way, B. I always have extra food. Yeah, it's just not that important to me. I'm a tomato maniac. My dad sent me out to gather cherry tomatoes, and I brought back about 8. I had dinner and never asked me to do that again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Richard said, made our first pint of maple syrup. See, I love that. I can't wait to do that. Ghetto says, cardboard sign, we'll chop firewood for coffee. Amen. Time for some homemade coffee and toffee ice cream. Oh, yeah. Tag, have you ever had coffee milk? It's a syrup extract that you can add to milk. I have not. B, now 10 people will be prepared to feed Tag. Oh, no. Rain Country says, is Tag a glamper?
Are you a glamper?
Would you think I'm a glamper?
No, I think that a lot of the stuff you take because of me.
Mm-hmm. No, the truth is, I'd be perfectly fine.
Oh my gosh! The one time I didn't take his pillow, I had to listen to that.
Oh my goodness, that was horrible.
How do you not grab a pillow?
I would just, if I'm going out there sleeping by myself, I'll just sleep in the truck. Right? Get a pillow and a blanket, fold down the back seat, and I'll sleep in the truck. It'll be fine.
That doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me.
Yeah. A squash was killed in this week. Witness accounts say he was gored to death.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And have his bug in bag. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And to think I was worried that they would make fun of my air bed and furry blanket. No, they won't.
No.
No, they won't. And there's a lot worse.
We have seen it all.
We have seen it all.
But
yeah.
you know what? Just when we say we've seen it all, somebody brings
Right.
something up that we're just like.
Right. Yeah. Simper Times Homestead. My ex-husband was a Rhode Island. Was from Rhode Island. Coffee milk is an acquired taste. I've never tried it.
Coffee milk.
Yeah. I would be perfectly fine, guys, in a hammock. I'm perfectly fine in my truck. I will be just fine. Whatever that turns out to be. But if B comes out and stays, if we figure out a way to do that, I'll put up a big tent so that, she can go in there and sit down at the table and, because we have a nice big tent. We just haven't put it up in several years.
Didn't we just stay out there last year, didn't we?
No, we didn't stay the night. because there was animals to get.
In the wintertime, it was cold. We had the stove going. Where were we?
One last year. Yeah, our tent has a stove in it, a wood stove.
Well, you can put a stove in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I can attest that there were quite a few air mattresses in tents there last fall, including my tent. Yep. We used to have some blown up furniture from Nickelodeon that we used in front of the tent when we went camping. I heard something weird about Nickelodeon, Skane's Girl. So if you translate from English to Latin, and then you type in Nick, N-I-C, space, and then K-E-L, maybe it's K-E-L-O, I don't remember, one of those two, and then D-E-O-N in there, the translation in Latin is an anti-God statement. I found that fascinating.
Huh.
I know all kinds of useless information. Let me see. My dad also tried me push a manual plow. I was in tears and needed to go play ball. He bought a machine. How dare him? My specialty is sweets. Hey, Tamara, my specialty is eating sweets. My Phil used to ship cases of it to us.
Father-in-law.
Father-in-law, okay. Where are you from? Yep. There was a man called police, said his wife was gored by a wild pig. He needed an
ambulance to
pluck her up. Operator asked, where is she? He said on Eucalyptus Street. Operator asked him to spell street. Anyone drink Swedish coffee in here?
Swedish.
It was from the Green Slime Show. Yep, I need to look it up on the Latin thing. Then there was silence. He said, I'll drag her over to Oak Street. You can pick her up there. Yeah. I think
because they said that they are on Eucalyptus Street. Can you spell that? No, I'll drag her over to Oak Street.
Nikki says, good night, Freedom Friends. Appreciate you so much. We appreciate you too. Yep, good night. Have a good weekend too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Did you got anything else? If not, I'm ready to cut this off and get ready for the auction tomorrow.
No, I gotta find your...
I didn't see Chiochi come in here.
Yeah, she was in there a long time ago.
Oh, well, hello, Chiochi.
Chiochi.
You know what you say, Chiochi, Mom? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta find your rubber
Swedish coffee. Now hold the sugar.
Outfits for tomorrow too.
My warm stuff.
Well, the waterproof stuff, the rubbers.
Yep. Yep. What do you call a dog with no legs? I have no idea. Okay, so you got any parting words?
I think that
doesn't matter. He won't come anyway.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. I think that this life is so, I'm learning. We keep meeting new people and we see how they do it, and there are so many different ways to live a free life. What is freedom to us? What is freedom to you? What is off-grid to us? What is off-grid to you? There are so many different variations of it and different ways that you can do it. I think that, what we're doing is not right for everybody. And we're just showing them how we are doing it. And I think that if it's a life, it is harder in some aspects, but I think that if it's a life that you are interested in, I think that start with a plan and work your way towards it.
Yeah, I think, and I'll build on what you said a little bit, that remember the guys that this whole thing is not a destination, right? It's not, it's a journey. It's an absolute journey, that I don't I don't really know that you're trying to accomplish some end game where you get to the end and go, okay.
Well, I thought living off grid. I thought that was the end. I thought I can't wait to live off grid. And now we are technically living off grid, and I'm getting up earlier now than I had before, and I'm not staying up any later because I go right to sleep. But it is just.
But like we talked about before, babe, that there's nothing convenient about freedom.
It is not convenient.
And you can be the lion in the zoo and the food is provided for you, right? Your medical care is provided for you. It's convenient, right?
It is.
It's convenient. Or you can be the lion out in the Serengeti who has to chase the gazelle to eat. And you got to worry about being kicked off the block because the next lion's coming along.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to worry about all those things, and so it's just not convenient.
So you can be free.
Mm-hmm. Or you can be safe, but you can't be both. Just the way it is. So it's interesting, but I like the journey. It's been a whole lot of fun, for us. And Big Kid says freedom isn't cheap in any form. It is not cheap. It is absolutely not cheap, but it's cool. And you know what? There's a lot to come, guys. And we're going to go to the auction tomorrow. Well, I'm going to go to the auction tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll do some filming, and so you guys can see what's going on there, and I'll report back what we bought, and then from there we can see what we're going to do with what I bought, because hopefully what I get's a bunch of material that we can then build into other things. We have new community members or potential community members coming down to the area. I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to work on those relationships. We've got people who bought land last year who are now building out here. That's super exciting. I can't wait to, get more and more and more involved into that. And so it's cool. So I guess we're just going to keep playing.
Keep on keeping on. Keep coming back. It works.
And you're going to have an amazing dessert for the next Friday Live, right?
I'm going to have soap.
Okay.
You can eat that. No, I'm just teasing.
Yep. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I got some ideas.
We will see you guys next time. Hold the line. Don't give an inch.
Be out.
I got. See you guys. Good night, everybody.
Quit sucking so